All right. I hope y'all can hear. I hope I still have a voice. Cause man, I tell you what, whew, I yelled my ass off. So if I sound a little whatever, what a game. What a game. First off, I got a bad feeling Emery broke his arm. Uh Crip, Cuban, how y'all doing? Uh we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Hang on. First off, I thought considering the situation, I thought Emery did pretty good for a freshman first time. Uh it's just you got to give the kid props regardless of whether he should have been in there or not. You got to get he laid it all out on the line on that last play. He gave it everything he could. He reached out there. Pork, I got a bad feeling that arm is broke. I think it's like up in here somewhere. Because if you saw the broadcast, they showed it. I swear his arm was. I thought it was his elbow, but I think he busted this right here. And the tragic the tragedy of the situation is, and nobody. I mean, hindsight's 2020. Okay, nobody knew this was going to happen to him, but now going forward, Emery lost his red shirt. He's out for the rest of the season. That poor boy's probably headed to the hospital right now to either get a cast or surgery. But, you know, Crip, to get what you're saying, Crip said, show everybody here. Starting Emery, I hope you're happy, Mario. You ruined a red shirt and a future stupid choices. Clearly, Mario lied. If this was a total rebuild, why burn Emery's red shirt just to lose him to injury? And hey, look, I'm not here to argue or prove anybody wrong. No, no, no. It's just I guess it's just one of those things. Oh, but I mean, it was a bold move to start Emery. And you know, you take away that punt return by Florida State, which I'll first say congratulations, Florida State. Y'all won. My hat's off to you. I'll show you respect. I don't like you, but I'll say congratulations. But man, I tell you, it was poor Emery, poor Emery, and then he had his family sitting there in the stands. But I mean that's of no consequence. But it's just you know it. I mean the dude laid it out on the line, bruh. It was fourth down and two, busted play, and he's giving it everything he's got. I mean, that to me, that's pretty cool. I hate to see him get lost to injury like that, you know. But without trying to sound like an insensitive asshole, I mean that's the run, that's the risk you run. I felt I just that kid's got some heart, man. He's got some heart. Now, outside of that, uh just look at the numbers right quick. I mean, Emery was 8 of 23 for 175, two touchdowns. Uh I dang near lost my voice on that I mean, what was it like 70, 80 yards for Jacoby? I mean, first I started to lose my voice Yes, Crip. I started to lose my voice on another ACC snub job on a safety. That should have been 2 points in our ball again before the half. I'm not saying that would have changed the course of the game, but again, another blown safety call. Oh, dude, I was hot. I was hot. I was hot, dude. I'm like, man, are you serious? Again? I'm surprised they didn't hear me in Tallahassee yelling like a madman. You know? Uh but Emory was 8 of 23. Not very good numbers, but he did have 175 yards. Chaney had some good runs. He had some good runs. Chaney finished with 85 yards, Fletcher with 47. So we had some good rushing yards, but for some reason they just abandoned the run. Of course, Jacoby had 150 yards receiving, Colby had 29. And you know, as dysfunctional and just in a mess that this offense is in. Exactly, Cuban. Exactly. It was it was still a rather conservative game plan, you know. Uh Florida State brought a lot of pressure, which I mean, you got a freshman quarterback, that's coming. Uh and you got to scheme or do something to give the kid some time. But I have to say, I thought I was, take away the play calling, but the effort by these young men was just, man, that defense. And then Jordan Travis, his little bitch ass, you know. I thought, man, that I was waiting for a pick six or something from the defense. But I tell you, the defense put pressure on there. I thought Guidry called a pretty good game defensively. Yeah, they had some, they had some ups and downs on defense, but you got those two receivers for Florida State, and that little I say little, but that the Brown number 6. That I think he could be pretty good. I was going to get you, Phil. You didn't have to leave. Oh, but I mean, dude, I thought it was a good game. I really did. It had its moments, but still, overall, I thought it was a good game. Oh, still not still not happy with the playbook. I would have thought they would have tried to do something to slow the pressure, do something to help Emory out, kind of open it up a little bit. Uh, would have liked to have seen a few more running plays, but you know, it's like the second half they just abandoned the run. To me, that's what it seemed like. Sorry, my nose itches. Uh, but you got to, you know, Miami had a chance at the end, you know, and then when Emory got hurt, I felt bad for Emory getting hurt. Then I felt bad thinking, "Oh crap, TVD's coming in," and uh, I had a feeling. I had a feeling that, Lord, please let this be the game he doesn't throw an interception. What's up with my camera? There we go. And I, and I know TV Tyler was thrown into a crazy situation. And earlier Cuban said that game ended perfect, TVD interception. Uh, FSU Neil Mari, are you close to fix the offense and get out the way? Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is when Tyler was rolling out the pocket, Restrepo was open. And that's another thing. That's another thing. What was up with Restrepo tonight? He couldn't catch a ball to save his ass. Now, some of them were a little bit off target, but I mean, usually Restrepo's sure-handed. He ain't catch crap tonight, you know? But, I really thought Miami played a lot better than they had the last few games. Now, of course, you didn't have, Tyler sitting there throwing interceptions, but I the game, even though Miami lost by 7, okay? They lost by 7. The thing that concerns me the most is now, with Emory probably sitting at Tallahassee General getting his arm fixed, that means you only have Tyler and Jakari. What do you do? You know? And again, I know hindsight is 2020. Hindsight's 2020. Everybody seems like, you know, that everybody's knowledgeable in the future. But just to throw a little tidbit out there, if they would have kept TVD out, to get him healed up and had like let's say Jakari get a little playing time for Virginia and NC State. You know, I think Jakari's mobility would have helped in this Florida State game, not taking anything away from Emory. But with the pressure that Florida State was bringing and the adjustments, these protection adjustments that were not made by Mr. Dawson, you know, but again, it sucks that they lost. I'm not mad. I'm not gonna throw anything. Uh I had, Miami was in it till the end, down to 4th and 10 with 40 seconds left. How you doing, Bryce? You know, uh it sucks that Miami lost, you know. It did, but man, this defense, I tell you, this defense is something else. When I say defense, I mean the line and the linebackers. Our secondary, for the most part, didn't do too bad, but man, the pressure they put on Jordan Travis was just phenomenal. I mean, you got to give it to the defense. I will say this: I think the defense is what kept the game close. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Uh but the funny thing is, you know, every so often during a commercial or whatever, I'd kind of check in on the Coop show, just see what people were saying. And I mean, it was like still like 10, 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And most of the people had their pitchforks out wanting Emory on the bench. The same people who wanted Emory to come in and play the game and it was just crazy. It's crazy, 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 crazy. But, you know, it considering, you know, I don't want to sit here and say would have, could have, should have, but Miami should have won that game. But let's not forget, Florida State's a good team. Florida State's a good team. Uh I thought Miami had a chance to win from start to finish, until TVD threw that interception. I didn't. And I don't want to be cynical. I don't want to be part of the clown college that is part of all this. I don't want to say clown college, but the people that are back and forth, the fickle people about quarterbacks. But you gotta you gotta admit though, to go with what Cuban said. I mean, that's basically that would be the perfect way for this Miami team to finish that game. Put TVD in the game on an interception when you had Restrepo was open. Would that made a difference? I don't know, but it could have got a first down. I don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm just I'm happy. I'm happy that first Florida State didn't cover. I'm glad that we held Florida State under 50 points, you know. Uh, but I am disappointed that a Emory Emory gave it his all, and he's out for the season. We lost Emory. Good kid. Good kid. Uh don't understand the play calling. I don't understand why we abandoned the run. I don't understand why we didn't try some counter plays or some sweeps or some kind of put some variety in the run game, you know? Uh, cause when Miami went to the passing game, that made them one dimensional. And again, okay, if you're gonna go into the passing, if you're gonna start doing passing, if all you're gonna do is pass the ball, why not let's get some tight ends. Hey, we got us a new face in here. Looks like we got I hope I don't butcher this name, but we have Irv Gotti, ERVGOTTI. And he says, as a Knowles fan, I have to admit that Miami played a very hard game, better than any game, but we can all agree that the AO. Oh, dude, look, I'm gonna call you Mr. Gotti, if that's okay. First, welcome to the U Fellowship. Uh, but yeah, the ACC officials are horrible, 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 horrible. And that's one of the many reasons why I believe Miami, Florida State, Clemson, and somebody else, we just need to get the hell out that conference. It's become a joke. And, you know, just let's go to the SEC. You know, at least if you go to the SEC, you don't have to go across the frigging country. But we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that. But yeah, that was some, there was some, and I will be honest. I will be honest, not just because Mr. Gotti is in here, but I'll be honest. There were some penalties that Miami got away with, just as Florida State got away with. Oh, but yeah, I thought, I really can't get upset about this game. You know, now, in all fairness, if okay, let's say TVD converts that first down to Restrepo. Does that change the game? I don't know. Because if you noticed, they got lackadaisical with that. What was it, like 2 minutes left? Kind of got slow. No run. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. Hey, we got another one. Mr. Junior Perez. Welcome, Junior. Mr. Perez. But we got some all kind of new folks up in here. Cool. You fellowships getting bigger by the day. All right, Mr. Perez says, what's up, Jordan? How do you feel about the play calling, regardless of quarterback? But why do we always run up the middle? Yeah, see, I was just talking about that, Mr. Perez. Uh, yeah, they tried a few of the screenplays, and I guess they didn't take into account the defensive end for Florida State he can swat the you know. Hey, Phil. All right, Phil. Try to stay with me. I'm gonna get to you. Give me just a second, Phil. Uh, I'm welcoming some new people here. Yeah. Yeah, the play calling, they gave up. I don't know why they gave up on the run and why they kept going up the middle. Didn't do anything quirky. Didn't try to mix it up. But all right, Phil. I've I've dang near lost my voice. So, Phil, take it away. Talk to us. Give us your thought.
Of course, I got to
Yeah.
start off with the prayers for Emery. I don't know
Yes.
what happened, but we got. I mean, I'm not mad. I know we lost, but I'm just happy we kept it close. I was expecting a loss anyway, so
Well, I think I was saying earlier, I think Emery broke his forearm, dude.
he ain't
I,
playing next week.
I don't think he's playing till next year.
The only thing I'm mad about is the referees because they freaking that safety that was a safety.
Yeah, I was just addressing Mr. Perez. I mean, not Mr. Perez. Mr. Gotti was talking about that. I mean, let's be honest, dude. There was some blown calls on both sides of the ball. And of course, this being, a Miami-based show, I may be a little biased, but it just seems to be a common theme. The AC, you know who that referee reminded me of? The dude in the white hat. He reminded me of that dude off of Remember the Titans. Remember when they were trying to throw the game so they would lose and they would be able to get not Coach Boone, but the other coach to get into the Hall of Fame. They were going to throw the game, and that's who he reminded me of. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, go ahead, Phil. Keep it up. I gotta try to save my voice. Talk to us.
Well, now we gotta play. That's gonna be a tough one next week against Louisville. I mean, I don't feel confident in TBD. I know he only came in for the end of the game, but he still threw a pick. I'm like 4 plays. He still threw a pick.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it was, you know, to me, this game, you take away all the stuff we just talked about.
Emery
But
proved he was a starter.
oh yeah,
Next year
it
at least.
that to me that was a good Florida State Miami game. Gotti, Mr. Gotti, we got Louisville. We play Louisville at home, right, Phil?
Yep.
Yeah, we got Louisville at home next week, Mr. Gotti, and then we finish off against Boston College on Black Friday. So, at halftime, I will say I'm like, you know what? We might be able to do something against Louisville. Because I mean, let's face it. Let's give Florida, and that's not just because Mr. Gotti's in here, but you got to give Florida State their props. They're number 4. They're undefeated, and they're a good team. They are. They got some talent, you know, but this Miami team come out and just. But then again, when it comes to Miami, Florida State, you got to throw all the records and the rankings out the window. But
Miami plays good at Duke.
well, I mean, that's just part of the rivalry. It's been like that. Florida State when they come to Miami, they play tough there too. You know, oh, but it just man that could I was waiting for Miami to go down the field and just see what happened. I thought for sure. I thought for sure. I'm probably a little bit subdued right now because I kind of wore myself out during the game, and two, you know, with with Emery probably breaking his arm, it kind of. But I don't know. I think I honestly feel, and you can correct me on it, and anybody in the chat can correct me on this, but I really didn't see much of a difference in this team over the last month or two. Just there was no turnovers. What do you think, Phil? Uh-oh. I lost Phil. Nope, there he is.
Good.
So I guess my question is, what did you see different tonight with the Miami team other than no turnovers? Well, we had that pick at the end, but
He scored a
take that.
touchdown.
Yeah.
Like we actually scored.
Yeah, two touchdowns. You know. But I mean,
We actually were able to be excited tonight.
But honestly, personally, I really didn't see much difference other than these young men got out there and played their asses off. Phil, what are you doing?
What happened?
You okay, Phil?
Yeah.
Making a lot of scratching noises there, dude. I'm kind of concerned about you. You're like, are you on the carpet scrubbing around or what, bro? Yeah, all right. But man, I tell you, it's just, oh man, I just don't understand. Okay, I don't understand why they gave up on the running game, and I don't understand why they didn't even try to throw to a tight end. You know, because with Florida State bringing that pressure, okay, you could have popped the tight end out for about a 5-yard gain, 5-yard route. Something. It just I hate to be so I hate to be so I hate to critique Dawson's first year because it is his first year. And I'm not making excuses. I'm not being, a Dawson apologist. But I would have thought by now, the middle of November, that we would have seen a few wrinkles, maybe a few variations. You know what I mean? Some derivatives of some plays, but it's just not. It's not happening. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, this is the double-edged sword. Here's the double-edged sword. We have to maintain some stability at offensive coordinator. If indeed if indeed Dawson is calling the plays. I'm not going aluminum foil hat. I'm just saying. You know, I'm not saying the season is lost. Okay. But we got 2 games left. The season, I mean, it's technically it's over just from a game playing standpoint, not from we're going to lose the next 2 games. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, we're bringing the season to a close. Am I saying we need to shut it down and start thinking about next year? Not really. Not really. But I'm kind of curious about next season. We can, I'm curious. I'm curious. Yeah, exactly. Usually, I guess what I'm getting at is by this time of the season, all right, we're 10 games in, you know, and we're still seeing the same stuff we kind of saw in the first week, you know. Uh I hope that I just hope things I say change, but I hope things evolve, okay, in the off season. But here's the big question, and this is probably going to be talked about from now until Lord knows how long. Is with Emery out. God bless that kid. With Emery out for the rest of the season, that means TVD will be the starter for the next 2 games. Now before the Florida State game, I did say that TVD probably gave us our best chance of beating Florida State only because the only body of work we had to judge Emery on was the Clemson game. But after seeing the Clemson game and the Florida State game today, you know, I think Emery can he can do it. I'm not saying he's the second coming of, Steve Walsh or Jim Kelly. I'm not saying that. But Workforce. What's up, dude? What's up, Workforce? But after watching the game tonight, barring the play calling, okay, I feel a little better about Emery. I really do. TVD. I'm still on the fence with TVD. I really am, and I don't want to turn this into a quarterback controversy, but as of right now, if I was the offensive coordinator, okay, if I was not some old dude on YouTube giving his opinion, okay, if I was the man in charge, I would probably be willing to say, Emery and Jakari are fighting for 1 and 2. I don't really see TVD being number 1 quarterback. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but that's of right now. If Emery can get a little bit more arm strength, actually, honestly, truth be told, and don't get me wrong when I say this, but Emery kind of had his passes kind of reminded me a little bit of Dorsey. And what I mean by that is Dorsey didn't have a strong arm. Okay. Dorsey just had some hellified receivers to throw to. And Dorsey was a very smart, football IQ guy. I think Emery can have a good IQ. I mean, dude's throwing it all out on the line, I'm not saying that Emery is the second coming of Dorsey. I'm not saying that. But you see some characteristics. And TVD, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is about to be South Coast Kane with the camera unfiltered. I'm gonna say it, and if I hurt anybody's feelings, you're just gonna have hurt feelings. But I'm gonna tell you right now, ever since TVD got those NIL deals, he done got soft. There it is. I threw it out there. TVD has done got soft since he got all that money from the NIL. Plain and simple. There it is. Because and 20, this is not becoming a TVD bashing session. I'm just telling you how I see it. In 2021, when he came in for an injured De'Aaron King, he didn't have all that money. Played pretty good. He comes in last year, he gets all that NIL deal off season, and here we are. I'm just saying. He got a lot. He seemed to play a lot softer once he got that money in his back pocket. Hey, looks like we got. This is. I'm assuming this is Workforce Freebie with the new handle. Fear no sphere. Oh, I scared him away because I couldn't say his name right.
Damn.
Anyway, so that's I'm putting it out there. Okay, I'm throwing it out there. TVD has got soft since he got the NIL money, and there it is. That's my opinion. I've been trying to be nice, trying to be a nice guy, even though I'm really, I'm gonna call it like I see it. But Cuban, I hate to say it, but I would say he would. But I don't know what the season goals of the coaching staff were for this team this year. I don't know. I don't know if it was try to have a winning record. I don't know if it was try to go to a bowl game. I don't know what the coaching staff Mario's goals were for this Miami team back in the summer. I don't know what it was. But I honestly, if it was me, what does Miami have to lose? Let Jakari finish the season out. Go ahead and get him some playing time. He's got the free games. I mean, because we know what we're going to get with TVD. TVD had an interception with less than 2 minutes to play in the game. So there seems to be a trend there with TVD and INTs. You know what I mean? I say, what the hell? Let Jakari get in there. Let's see what the guy's got, man. Can't be no worse. I mean, if you're willing, I'm speaking of Mario and the coaching staff. If they're willing to put Emory in the Lions' den, against Florida State at Tallahassee, if they're willing to put Emory in that situation, what's the difference in letting Jakari finish the season out? I'm just saying, because I just don't think TVD's going to do it for Miami. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. There. It is what it is. Okay. So we have Fear No Spear, Canes versus the ACC and the Zebras, commonly known as Workforce Freebie. All right. Tell us what you think there, Workforce. Feel free to speak your mind. Tell us what you think, how you feel, what's going on, how you been. Go ahead.
Short of winning, I think we saw everything we needed to see. I don't think you can walk out of there with your head held down. You've got to be proud of what you saw.
Oh yeah. And Phil, if you're still here, since you're the statistician guy, I can't remember who was the last true freshman that started for Miami against Florida State.
Was TVD a true freshman when he started against Florida State? I think it might have been him, or he may have been a redshirt. But
what's up, Bryce?
Bryce,
I don't know if he was. I mean, it seemed like TVD's been here for like 10 years, dude. But there has not been many. See, because here's the thing. When they said that Emory was starting Ja'Cory. Okay. Yeah. Yes, TVD. That's right. Thank you, Cuban. There's been so many decades that's all a blur because every time they start talking, when they talked about Emory possibly starting against Florida State, I had visions of hell, who was it? Was it Clement or Covington getting slammed into the goalpost back in the 90s? That's what I keep envisioning, you know. Uh, but I thought I thought I liked Ja'Cory, you know. But all right, workforce. Anything else before I move to Bryce?
We can let Bryce handle it. We're good with that.
All right, Bryce. I know you're a man of steady emotions. You're the
Yeah.
statistician. You're the statistician, if I said that correctly, of the U Fellowship. So tell us what's on your mind.
Well, I don't have the stats on me and I haven't looked at them, but um, I ain't gonna lie, it's first off, I think, and I'm pretty sure it was already talked about, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up again. Prayers up to Emory Williams.
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
I mean, that kid.
I
I ho-
I think he snapped his forearm in two, bruh. But go ahead.
I think he did too. And then um, one of my other guys that you good?
There he is.
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm
that's my
good.
dad.
Are you good, workforce?
Sorry, that was talking to my dad.
Okay, we're all good.
Yeah,
I'm just being
yeah,
funny, bro. I'm being funny.
I'm good. I just had to hop in and out because I had a work call come in.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm glad to have you here, bro. Glad to have you. I'm
yeah.
just messing. I'm being a smart ass, Bryce. Go ahead.
No, no, trust me, you're good. You're good. My dad's like that too, so you're good.
It's better to be the
But
dumbass. Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but yeah, it is kind of bittersweet though because the fact that we did burn his red shirt, but now he's injured and he's going to be out for the rest of the season. I mean, granted, I know we only have 2 games left, but still, it's like we don't know how long that recovery process is going to be, and we don't know what the significant injury is. Although, while I was at my dad's girlfriend's mother-in-law, because he's got another guy that's also a Hurricanes fan and also an Eagles fan as well. I guess he also bruised his leg as well. Uh, don't quote me on that, but I know that arm definitely was not good. But prior to that, though, um, Aaron Williams in this offense did just enough to keep this a game. I got to give credit to the defense. Defense played their butts off. Obviously, had some busted coverages and stuff like that. I still feel like we left some plays out there that should have been made. Definitely, our tackling has improved, but I still think that still needs some work. We had some plays where we had them like perfect example the Jordan Travis run where we literally could have been a tackle for loss and he literally somehow some way makes it second and goal at the 3.
Yeah, it's like he went pinball mode on him, bro.
He literally did. So you know, all in all, I mean, nobody likes losing to your rivals. We don't like losing to Florida State. Florida State doesn't like losing to us. But I will say this though, I'm glad we actually made a game out of it. Instead of actually laying down and getting blown the fuck out. You know,
Exactly.
um, I don't know what they're gonna do about Cam Kitchens because you could tell that he definitely got nicked up and you could tell that he's limping for sure. So I don't know what the heck they're gonna do about that. Wesley Bissaint, for a sophomore, he had a heck of a game tonight. Very impressed what I saw out of him. Francisco Maragoa, I'm hoping. I don't know how many years he's got left. I think he's got like what 2. 2 years, I think. I could be wrong.
I think he's got 2 years. No,
Yeah.
he's a junior, isn't he?
He's a junior, right? He's
But
got
is he a redshirt junior?
1 year.
He may have 1 year, but I don't see him going. I think he's going to stick around with little brother, which I didn't talk about this, but with Mags at tackle, I call them Mags because I forget their names. Anyway, I'm
Yeah.
not a true Canes fan because I don't know the roster or the schedule. But yeah, little Mags, he had some penalties on the offensive line. Again, I don't like it, but he is a freshman. Okay. And he had a tough order to take care of his blocking assignments against them cats on the defensive line. So I don't give him a pass, but he is a true freshman. He was playing high school ball this time. I do, that, a little, the fall starts is to be expected from a freshman. But yeah, man, if Kiko sticks around next year with little brother, man. And on that note, I don't know, maybe it's because I've had too many of these tonight. But shit, that bitch almost empty. But I'm gonna tell you right now, straight up, TVD can transfer or he can go to the draft because
I don't think he's coming back. Either way you put it.
I'm not trying. I don't want to cast anybody out to the cold, but with Judd coming in next year, I just I hate to say it, but Tyler may be irrelevant next year, just based on the heart and the grit that we saw out of Emory. And yeah, Cuban, I saw that about, I think TVD got his feelings hurt, bruh, that he wasn't starting. But, a lot of folks were talking about the Clemson game, how the team seemed to rally around and get a little bit more excited with Emory, But tonight, when Emory was carted off, you could see, for whatever reason, and again, this has not become a Tyler Van Dyke bashing session. I'm just telling you what I see. But when Emory, God bless that young man, when he was being carted off the field, everybody was trying to, say, tell him, good luck, God bless, we love you, everything else. But you didn't see that when TVD got hurt. Uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? And I really, I don't want to sound cold-hearted to Tyler. I know he's faced some injuries and stuff, but the shots that I saw on TV, okay, he didn't seem then again, he doesn't show much emotion anyway. Ooh, we got another new person, another new viewer. Okay, I'm gonna try not to butcher this name, but we have Kyloran. I hope I pronounced that right. Kyloran, Miami Kane. We'll call him Kylo. I hope I didn't butcher that. Please don't be insulted if I got your name mispronunciated. But Kylo, I like Kylo. Kylo, or is it Kylo Ren? Anyway, regardless of the fact, I like that. I like that that Sean Taylor photo there. Tyler never take a snap this year. We 9-1. And I'm not going to disagree with that, but again, hindsight's 2020. Let's be honest with ourselves. Emory had some Emory had some mop-up duty early in the season. Okay. And yeah, he had that game against Clemson, which was a limited playbook that included basically handoff, and about 30 wide receiver / bubble screens. But after what I saw tonight, the way that young man laid it out on the line, gave an arm,
I'll tell you
you know.
what, he made two big time throws.
Yeah,
First touchdown of the game to Jacoby George,
yeah.
back end of the corner of the end zone, and then that one pass to Jacoby George in double coverage that almost could have been a pick if that one defender for Florida State had the angle, probably could have been
Hmm.
picked. But
Hmm.
I mean, hey, Emory Williams definitely showed us that he's got the stuff to get it done. I just think the offensive play calling has just been just I don't know what it is. And I think me and my dad were having this conversation and same thing with two other guys that were watching the game. It's like I don't know if it's Mario Cristobal, having a say in this, or if it's Dawson or what it is. I mean, it literally could be anything, but I don't know. And
Well, whoever it is, Bryce, whoever it is, again, we don't know what their agenda is this season. Okay, I don't know,
yeah,
but I'm hoping they learn something. Okay, but I want to go back. If and again, I was wrong. I thought TVD would have given us our best option because I didn't know how Emory was. Okay, and second, of course, hindsight being 2020. If TVD had started this game with the pressure that Florida State was getting in on the offense, dude, he'd have had at least 3 picks. I think the
probably.
score probably again, I don't want to live in the land of would have, could have, should have, if, maybe. Okay, I don't want to go there, but I
Mhm.
probably would not be surprised based on what we know right now that if Tyler would have started, dude, it could have been it could have been like a 30, 40 point victory for point spread for Florida State. You know, I'm just saying, just because of the pressure that they put on Emory, because they'd have brought the same pressure on TVD. You know, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to, I don't really want to get into this conversation, but I will get into it. That if everybody who has next year eligibility, if they still got another year of eligibility, comes back with the exception of TVD, I think Miami's going to be okay. What's up, Canes, today? If let's say Kitchens, I really think Cam needs to come back. He really just hasn't. He unfortunately he's been trying so hard and getting hurt. That was a hell of a tackle he put on that running back. Was it running back or receiver? At the near the at the like the 3 yard line, I think it was. Kind of knocked him out.
Mhm.
Uh and of course, he had that that injury against Texas A&M, but I think Cam needs to come back one more year. Kiko needs to come back another year. TVD, thank you for your service. Appreciate what you did in 2021, but I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. TVD has got soft since he got that NIL money 2 years ago. I'm just saying. I think Miami's at the point now to where you got to let these young bucks at quarterback play. We have an offensive line because we still got Sampson sitting on the sideline for offensive line. He's still sitting in the wings waiting to get in there. You know, we got this kid right here from where I'm at, here in Zachary, Louisiana. Kavion Broussard. He committed to Miami. This dude's like 6'7". He got put a little weight on him. But the offensive line is getting there. And even this year, the offensive line has provided some pretty good pass protection. Maybe not perfect, but it's been there. But I forgot about the pretty little girl. I guess you can get the pretty little girl when your wallet's fat and your ride is slick, or whatever the cool kids say. But I really believe I'm not blaming TVD for anything. I'm just saying, as a body of work, from what we've seen, that TVD is just not the same quarterback that we saw back in 2021. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm anti-TVD. Okay. I'm not saying I'm a fanboy of whoever. I still got this. Those who know. Okay. I don't care. I just don't know if TVD's head is right for this. Be it the being afraid of being injured. If he's afraid he's going to lose his NIL money, you see where I'm getting at? I don't know. But seeing Emory do what he did tonight and knowing what's coming down the pipe, I don't know. All right, Bryce, say something.
Yeah. I was gonna let you finish.
But sometimes you got to jump in, or I won't shut up.
Yeah. No, and to answer Kane's today's questions, like, nah, man, we're not blaming this game on TVD. There, what's the point of even doing that? I think, how do I put it? I think what I think Jordan is trying to say, and not trying to put, when you go from wearing cotton to boxers slippage.
Hey, look, I don't mean to interrupt your thought. I'm gonna get back to you, but that's what I love about Cuban Kane. That's what I love about it. Go ahead, Bryce. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It was funny.
But yeah, no. I think we're just talking about Tyler Van Dyke in general. We're not trying to. Me personally, I'm not trying to bash the guy.
No.
And you can't blame this loss on him because he didn't start this game.
No.
Even though he finished the last couple minutes of the game, and I mean let's be honest. At some point, in the game, there was again, not trying to bash him, but at some point in the game, there probably was gonna be a turnover in the game because it was bound to happen either way, whether it be earlier on the game or towards the end of the game. It was just gonna happen.
Ooh. Hang on, Bryce. Canes today. Am I become a bad influence? Look at this. Canes today says we wait 364 days to this day to beat FSU, and we can't fucking do it. Boy, Canes today hot. Okay.
Jordan, I'll let you take the floor on that one.
Okay, Canes today. I know you're pissed. I'm not happy. Please don't. This sucks. Okay. I sat here for the last week talking about how Miami's going to beat Florida State when everybody else said there was no way. All right. I damn near lost my voice watching, like I do every year for the last, I don't even want to tell you how many decades. But I guess as I've gotten older, okay, I guess I look at things bigger than the score. Yes, Miami lost 27-20. Okay.
Hmm.
But, you know,
We didn't get blown out.
we didn't, it wasn't like we made big improvements from last year.
We
Okay. I'm not
actually,
saying nobody is saying it's TVD's fault.
no.
But considering
You have
what
you got to
we've
look at
been
it.
through the
You got
last
to
go ahead,
look at it
go ahead.
like this. You got to look at it like this. First of all, nobody likes losing their in-state rivals. I don't care if it's Miami versus Florida State, Washington versus whoever,
Right.
blah blah blah. Nobody likes losing their in-state rivals. And trust me, waiting 364 days or however long just watch us lose, yeah, it hurts and it stings. And then you start thinking about, oh man, we could have been 8-1. Oh man, we could have been 8. This that. Like, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know. However, I keep harping on it. We didn't get blown out. Like, and the fact that we actually fought against, and you got to give credit to where credit is due, as much as I hate doing it, a pretty darn good Florida State team, who has had their struggles in, when Mike Norvell got there in his first 3 years, and we're still trying to make strides, you know. And hold on, let's see. Travis wants more than that. To be fair, you are, yeah. Also, it's funny. I don't think because my dad's girlfriend's brother-in-law was saying, like, I don't think I've ever seen a football player literally call for a flag. Like, he actually literally went to the ref and actually said, hey, can you look at this? Which was the targeting call on James Williams, which actually, I ain't gonna lie,
Right.
James James Williams got away with one there. I ain't gonna lie, he really did. But again, going back to what we were talking about, at the end of the day, you know, we're getting there. Like, and I know that sucks because every Canes fan wants instant success right now because of what we've been dealing with for over 20 plus years, on and on and on. But like, look, Rome wasn't built in a day, as cliche as that sounds. And look, it sucks that Aaron Williams is hurt, and I hope he's going to be okay. And I wish him nothing but the best. But he gave us a chance. He gave us a chance. He gave us a chance, despite how Tyler Van Dyke has been playing. You know, Tyler Van Dyke, you know, still has experience. I know he's been playing like dog crap. I know he is, but he still has experience. He still knows how to run this offense. You know, we only got 2 games left. Who the hell knows what's gonna happen? I still hope James Williams has his
Is his
chain
chain tomorrow?
tomorrow. I want to see a nice fit with his chain on posting it in social media. That would be hard.
Uh,
That would be. That would be. But
you know,
at the
oh,
end at the end of
good.
the day, man, I think you have to look at it like we have Louisville and Boston College aren't going to be no cupcake walks. Let's just be real about that because Louisville, I think Louisville was kind of to be expected. You know, pretty good team, and then Boston College, even though they got the break speed off of them by Virginia Tech today, still solid team. You still could technically finish the season possibly maybe 8-4, 7-5, and then obviously the worst would be 6-6. And if that were to happen, 6-6, and then if we were to lose a bowl game, then we probably would be having a different conversation right now. But still, we still got 2 games to play and a bowl game to play, so anything could happen. But There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. We're still going to probably be asking, what the hell is going on with this offensive play calling? You know, is it Mario Cristobal the one that's what's calling the shots? Is it Dawson or blah blah blah? We don't know. But all we can do now is like suck it the hell up, take it on the damn chin, and move on to Louisville and try to finish this season out strong. I hate losing to Florida State. Nobody likes losing to Florida State, especially Miami fans. I think we all can agree in the room. But at the end of the day, we're making progress. We're going to get there. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we're going to get there.
Right. Exactly. And I agree with it. And I guess Canes today, I guess I'll have a word of wisdom moment with you like I did with Cajun Kane in the pregame when he gave me a chance to talk. Don't get me wrong. Or as the cool kids say, don't get it twisted. I could sit here and be like Tasmanian devil and just throw stuff, curse, holler, be mad, and I used to be that way. It would just, dude, it would just, oh my God, it would just get me so angry and upset for like a week or two because we lost to Florida State and man, it just pissed me off. And dude, it pisses me off. Okay, don't get it wrong. I hate this. Even though nobody gave us a snowball's chance in hell, I still thought Miami was going to win. Okay. I am very disappointed. I am very upset. I'm frustrated. I'm not really happy with how things are going this year. But the wild thing is we can sit here, we can rant, we can rave, we can throw stuff, we can break stuff, we can curse, we can holler, we can scream, we can break stuff. But what's it going to change?
Yeah.
You
You also
and,
have to
and,
look
and
at
again,
this.
I am not condoning, I am
Yeah.
not justified, I am not apologizing for how the team is performing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
You also got to look at it like this as well. We're basically a quarterback away from being probably a pretty damn good team.
right.
You know?
Because what Mario wants to do, Mario's gonna do. Ain't a damn thing I can do about it.
Right.
The little youth fellowship that we have, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I mean, we can
No.
speculate, we can, theorize. Ooh, how you like that word? Okay, on what's going on. And it makes for good conversation. But when it's all said and done, it doesn't really matter what we do. It doesn't matter what we say. They're going to do what they're going to do, And I just have the hope and the faith that maybe this is kind of a learning, feel it out. Let's learn how things are year. I don't know.
See,
But I will say what I've seen on the field, okay, this season, what I've seen, the collective body of work is I don't know what happened after the bye week. Okay. The first 4 weeks, the offense, defense, everything was clicking. Granted, playing weaker opponents, but still the process and procedures were being it was executed. Okay. I don't know what happened at the bye week. I don't know what happened with the Georgia Tech game. I don't know. All I know is something happened. Either somebody, the coach, I don't know if they went to a seminar or a retreat on how to put your head up your ass, or if Georgia Tech, somebody at Georgia Tech said, "Hey, I figured out the secret formula." I don't know, but I do know that since the bye week, the turnovers, the interceptions, Tyler has averaged 2 interceptions a week. Okay. Now, is it because he's hurt? If he's hurt, why is he on the field? Okay. If not, then what's going on? I don't know. You know, and
Again,
then that's another thing Canes today. Exactly. The play calling. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if this is, I don't know if Mario is doing this. I don't know if Mario's trying to help Dawson out because it's his first time in this. I don't know. All I know is what I see on the field. Okay.
well, you
I'm no
forgot-
expert.
Kane-
Hang
Kane-
on, Bryce. Hang on, Bryce.
sorry,
I'm on a
go ahead.
roll here. I'm on a roll.
Go ahead.
I don't know. But I do know what I see. And what I see is an offense, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
We're in November. This was game number 10.
Yep.
And it's like our style of play calling
Mm-hmm.
has basically regressed through
Yep.
from week 1 till now. Now, why is that? I can't answer that. I don't think it's because Dawson ain't worth the shit. Because whether it's Dawson or Mario, I don't know who it is. But whatever they were doing in the first few weeks, why aren't we doing it now? What's the deal? I mean, hell, this administration, this coaching staff won't even tell us if a player's been hurt vis-a-vis Tyler Van Dyke coming out of fall camp. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. And
All I know is what I see on the field. Okay.
Right.
And what I see is, yes, I'm disappointed in the fact that Miami lost to Florida State. But the thing that keeps me from going freaking bonkers and batty and being pissy is, okay, we lost. But how did we lose? How did we win? I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong for being pissed. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is one thing I've learned over the many, many decades, okay? It's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And all we can do is just talk about it. We can put our frustrations out. Hey, if you're pissed and you think, you crazy old fool, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't even care. That's fine. Take it out on me. I don't care. Okay? Because I know you ain't being serious. But I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, what it all boils down to, regardless of what channel or what social media platform you're on, it's basically we're just going to rant and rave, give our opinions. And it's so frustrating because damn good and well it ain't going to make a rat's ass difference on what happens next week. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So please, I don't want anybody. I still have the passion. I still have the fervor that I had last night on Coach Coop's show. I still feel that way. I just got a little out of control. Oh.
No, I thought that was warranted when you went out and just said, fuck Florida State.
That's me because, dude, I no disrespect to Florida State, people-wise, fan-wise.
They're a little high on
and
themselves.
they're the same way. I
Yeah.
would expect any Florida State fan to say the same thing. Okay? But you got to realize I've been doing this for over 4 decades, dude. Okay? And hey, hold on, stop. We got new people. We got new people. Hang on, I gotta get my camera focused. What's up with my camera? Bastard. Now look like a friggin' dollar store production instead of dollar. All right, there's my pretty face. Okay, so we have, man, y'all got to, whatever happened to John Smith and James Jane
Gooseman
Johnson?
_ Chris.
Okay, so we got Guzman Chris. I'm tired of Restrepo bum ass.
All right, I'll take that one, Jordan.
You do that. But
I'll take that one.
welcome to the U Fellowship, Mr. Guzman Chris. Take it away, Bryce.
Yeah.
Because I need to go fill my cup up. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that should have been. Go ahead, Bryce. Go.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Restrepo did not have a good game. I mean, he didn't have a good game. I mean, some of the passes that Aaron Williams threw to him were on the dot, and he's got to make those catches. But I don't think it's just on Restrepo. I think our wide receiver play wasn't the greatest tonight. We had a couple plays where some of the wide receivers weren't getting some separation. Not the fat. Also, you have to factor in, there was a certain period where we were running the ball effectively, and a lot of teams know that even throughout the seasons that we just have been having a hard time trying to throw the ball, and I don't know what happened. It really just goes back to what we're harping on. I don't know what the hell happened to the offensive play calling. It really could be.
So let's go back to that because this ties into Restrepo.
Yeah.
We should have seen this coming from the beginning of the season. If TBD is going to his outlet from the jump, something is wrong there. That's a safety blanket. If he's going to a safety blanket all the time, something's not right there.
Yeah.
And for that comment about the bum ass carried you half of last year and all of this season up until the last 3 games.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, go look at his stats. I mean, despite
He
him having a
torched Texas A&M by himself.
Despite having a bad game tonight, he's a reliable receiver when you need him to be. But just tonight, he just didn't have a good game. He just didn't have a good game. And honestly, you could definitely tell that he's definitely taking this one personal because if you watch the whole entire game through and watch the end towards the broadcast, you could see him sitting on the bench over there, just going through his thoughts. And look, man, these young men take these things personal. They take these games, especially games like these, personal. They want to win these games. They want to, and to me, that's a sign of maturity. That's a sign of these young men, they care, and that's something that we haven't had in quite some time. And I definitely, feel like that's definitely been needed for sure. And I think that's one thing that I think we could definitely tip our hats to Mario Cristobal and this coaching staff is getting these young men right, and say, hey, look, not everything is going to be, fun and games. It's, it's a work, it's a process, it's a grind. It's going to be in the mud. You're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days, all this stuff. But I'm getting off track here. But going back to Restrepo, though, Restrepo just didn't have a good game tonight. It's just plain and simple. He just didn't have a good game tonight. I fully expect him, to probably have a bounce back game against Louisville. I think Restrepo's going to be more than okay. I know his teammates are not going to let him get down about this. I know it's still a tough game. Take on the chin, but he'll be more than okay. And then Ruben A.
Yeah.
says that,
If I can interject, Bryce, I appreciate you stepping in, but
yeah,
I
you're
just
good.
got back. So we do have Mr. Ruben A, but I see where Canes today says, I mean, I could understand your argument, bro. And then he says, I don't blame him for saying that. And then he says, what's up? I'm in this chat now. Did I miss something?
I don't know.
I hope Canes. I mean, the thing is, Canes today, I'm not. Please don't misconstrue what my old ass was rambling on earlier. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with being upset. I'm just saying, oh, it's just no. I'm just saying, again, we can disagree, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but we know you here,
Yeah,
buddy. So
yeah.
we have another new viewer. This is crazy. Huh? It's like people just finding us all over the place. Ruben A. Hey, finally, somebody's name easy to say. He says the problem is they start 4-0, then lose to GT, and then had to win. Next, they played a great against NC. Don't make adjustments in the second half. Williams should have been the starter since the Clemson game. Now, I won't argue with that. I just went on that rant a second ago. We all talked about it, and honestly, in my opinion, is yeah, Emery should have done the Clemson game like he did. Okay. And basically, Jakari probably should have got the start against Virginia and NC State just to get him some playing time, get him some game time stuff, you know,
Or put in some packages for him.
you know, and you know, now as if it couldn't get any worse, as y'all well know, now we're down to Tyler and Jakari. And
Mm-hmm.
Jakari ain't touched the ball all season, you
Nope.
know.
And on top of that, he hasn't been taking reps with the first team as well.
Exactly. But Canes today, bro. Look, bro. Just the sun. It's going to get better. I promise you. It will. It will. I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard. I know you probably catch a lot of flack, dude. I still catch flack. You know.
Not to change the subject here. It's like, hey, at least we got basketball's back. At least you got basketball. At least we get to watch that. Not trying to change the subject here, but hey, 2-0.
We're gonna get a bowl game and we're gonna win.
Yeah.
I did see some talk on the on the ESPN app. I've been kind of following it through the season on their bowl projections. And now I saw they were talking about there he is. Okay, everybody. Okay. Oh, dude, I lost him. I was hoping to hear from Canes today. I wanted that young man to get some things off his chest, man. But yeah, I'll wait for him to come back.
I think that's what he meant when he said he's in the chat. That's probably what he meant.
Okay. Anyway, I was looking at that. Not that I really take any credence in what ESPN says, but they were talking about Miami and Nebraska playing in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Nebraska is bowl eligible?
I don't know. I just found it intriguing. Let Miami and Nebraska play. I mean, I think we would probably beat them like yard dogs, but I just found that interesting. Okay, Cuban Kane. He asked, please tell me, how is it going to get better? This offense is not changing no time soon. Well, that may be, Cuban, but for my own sanity and my own peace of mind, I don't know, maybe I'm living in the land of unicorns and rainbows, but I try to convince myself that it's going to improve. I guess it's just a personal thing. I can only hope. I'm just trying to keep hope alive, dude. Time will tell. Excuse me. I came into this season with no expectations. I had some ideas, but no expectations. But now, as we've just got through with our 10th game, now I'm kind of seeing, you know, I hope they get better. I mean, I can't sit here and say they will for sure get better. I can only hope. Okay, so I do apologize for misleading the crowd. I can only hope. Uh, I I can hope. I don't know. I hope. You know, maybe I don't know. I mean, okay, let's cut to the chase, guys. You know, or if there's girls in the back row, I don't know. But let's be honest with ourselves. Everybody, too, got Bryce and Workforce, and then Cuban Canes and everybody else in the chat. We're kind of Miami's kind of in a shitty situation now vis-a-vis the quarterback situation. You know, that I mean I hate to say it, and I'm not making light of it, but the Miami quarterback situation has gone from worse to, oh my
Even
God,
worse.
you know? Uh so I don't know. The next 2 weeks are going to be interesting.
So
That's all I
let's talk about that. What do you think is gonna happen the next 2 weeks?
Well, they got one or two options. One or two options. One, you put TVD out there for the next 2 weeks and you know what you get. Hopefully you get less than 2 interceptions a game. Or because Jakari has he can play the last 2 games and not affect his red shirt. You know what I mean? And what I mean, and I'm not getting into a controversy, but if they were willing to put Emory against Florida State at Tallahassee, why not let Jakari take Louisville and Boston College? Now, I'm 1,000 miles away. Okay. I don't know what's going on at Green Tree. I don't know what the agenda is. Okay. You know, I don't know if Jakari is just redshirting the whole year and not playing, but guess what? He is now quarterback too. But before we go any further, we have we got all kind of new folks stopping by the U Fellowship tonight. I think I got this name. Jose Amador. I think I got that one. Dirty Knowles, and play calling was terrible. What is a safety? Because I don't know anymore. Yeah, that was, chalk up another one to the ACC or officiating on missing the safety.
Two times.
Was
Okay.
that the second one or the third one? I forget.
I know the one about Clemson. Okay. Canes today. Talk to us, baby.
What's up, y'all?
There he is. Okay, let it all out, dude. The floor is yours. Tell us everything on your mind.
To be honest with you, I ain't got nothing on my mind right now. I can't, I'm full on basketball season right now.
I understand, dude. I understand, bro. I understand. Well, look, let me tell you this. Since I got you on here, dude, your little weekly hype videos are awesome, bro. You're doing a fine job. Because I don't know if I guess you heard the story, but y'all give me just a second. But earlier this week, I kind of started getting into that mental dazedness like everybody else was about, getting into the Eeyore syndrome about why bother playing the game. Florida State's going to win. Yeah. But that Wednesday morning, I was on my patio having my coffee, and I saw Canes Today's hype video for Florida State. And thank God that young man put that on there, because it reminded me what this rivalry was about. And I felt so ashamed because I had forgot. I let all this noise I let this noise cloud my judgment and forget what this rivalry was about. And I went on a rant Wednesday, and I just got tired of this noise from all these bullshit Canes fans. So I want to thank you personally, Canes, today for getting my mind right.
Yeah.
I mean, you laugh, but I mean, seriously, you don't
Nah,
realize
I'm,
how
I'm
much
laughing
how
at what Jose put in the chat.
TVD is staying in Miami, but just to be employed at Politico Tropico or Polo Tropico. I'm sorry.
So I like what Keynes today said. So let's take a step back from where we are now. Go back to last year, right?
Mhm. Right.
Close games. You found a way to lose them all.
Mm-hmm.
Teams that had no business being in a dogfight with you, they surprised you and beat us up. Middle
Mhm.
Tennessee State, yada yada. This year, close games. You figured out how to win most of them.
Right.
Besides maybe North Carolina, nobody has
Right.
blown you out.
Right. Oh.
If
Whoa,
if you can't see what's changed from last year to this year, take a step back and see what the difference is. You can't
I,
argue that they're not
no.
good, that they haven't gotten better. If you're just looking
I,
at the record, that doesn't tell the whole story of the season.
right. And see, and I agree. I agree 100%. Okay. Yeah, I agree that we have made vast improvements from last year. Okay. And in the same breath, I'll also say that, there are still improvements to be made. I mean, granted, let's not sugarcoat this. If we didn't have those turnovers in the last few games, who knows where we'd be. But what I'm getting at is overall, yes, overall, we are much improved than last year. Yeah. But we still have more of the journey to go. I mean, yeah, dude, I know this is gonna sound crazy. Okay. 27-20 loss to number 4 Florida State at Miami, considering what this team did last year against Miami. It's an improvement. Yes, it is. I just the team is improving, but there is a lot more that we need to, as a team, to improve on. Okay. But yeah, this team is this team is a lot better.
I saw this the last 2 years, and we still have not fixed it. We can never figure out how to tackle FSU's running backs. Never.
Thank you. And that's another thing. See, that's why I'm glad you're here, Case, today. That's another thing. When the hell is James Williams going to charge the runner instead of waiting for the runner to come to him? He seems to have a bad habit of that every so often. It's not all the time, but I noticed it again today. He'll sit there and just wait for the runner to come to him. And I mean,
That many Diaz left in them.
I don't know. It's something. All right, Cuban Kane. If TVD is quarterback for the rest of the season, we might be looking at a 6-game losing streak. And see,
No way. I think you either split them or you win them both. There's no way we're losing both of those games.
Well, first off, unfortunately, I don't know if they have a choice unless they throw Jakari out there and see what he can do, which really wouldn't. I mean, what do you have to lose?
I mean, Van Dyke in his last job today, he didn't look too bad. I mean, he had to force that last ball. I mean, he couldn't just throw that out of bounds.
He had to make a play. He had literally no choice but to make a play towards the
And
end.
honestly, truth be told, I mean, yeah, I made light of how the game, he threw the interception and missed the restrict. I just make light of that. But in the grand scheme of things, that wasn't supposed to happen to begin with. But a little food for thought with apparently TVD was bitched today for performance issues. That's what
Hey,
I'm getting at.
The one time Van Dyke didn't look at Restrepo, he was open.
Exactly. So again, does this improve Tyler's mental situation? Does it make it worse? I don't know. But you got Louisville next week. They're like what? 8-1, 9-1.
9-1.
Luckily, we play them at home. Okay.
Yeah.
And unless something changes, unless TVD gets a little bit healed up or whatever it is, based on what I've seen so far, this is not a TVD bashing session. I'm just saying, unless you're willing to put Jakari out there first time, they're going to have to go with TVD. And unless TVD changes, you got to go with what you see, and that's unless they fix the offensive play calling. I mean, I don't know, but I do know. I just don't think TVD's coming back next year. I don't think he'll be the starter next year. And like I said earlier, not trying to be rude or start a controversy, but TVD has done gotten soft since he's got that NIL money.
I wouldn't mind go get a portal guy right now.
Exactly. You're going to have to. You don't have a choice because right now you got Tyler and you got Jakari.
I don't like the way Williams throws that ball. When he steps in the pocket, I don't know, it just don't look right to me.
Well, I was talking earlier, and I'm not saying anything, but his throws remind me of Ken Dorsey's throws. But again, Emory is a freshman. He still has time to get some arm strength, but now with that arm probably being broken, I don't know. All I know now is that probably starting tomorrow, you're going to have two group of Canes fans. You're going to have Jakari people and you're going to have Tyler people. I guarantee that's what's going to happen tomorrow. But what other option do you have? I don't know.
You don't have a lot of options.
It's like which side of the sword do you want to get cut with?
If you want my honest opinion, I think you just ride TVD for the last 2 weeks. Personally, I mean, again, this is me just being selfish, I guess. I still would like to see some packages with Jakari. I think that would be nice to see. Do I think that happens? No. And it's funny that Canes today brought up about us trying to tackle Florida State's running backs. One of the things that we have seen throughout this season is run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. Like, okay, I guess, bro, they're going to stack the box. They know that we're running the ball. Get creative on play calling.
Yeah, we never run it to the outside at all.
No, we don't. And I don't understand why we don't. And then tonight, it's funny how, we've been harping on, oh, man, we got to get our tight ends involved. We got to get our tight ends involved. Not once tonight we did not get our tight ends involved. Not once.
Yeah, and we didn't even see I don't remember seeing a play action. I know they tried some RPO stuff,
No.
but
We-
they had tried to do some screenplays. But I have to ask the question: are the tight ends that bad, or is it just not part of Dawson's game plan? Or
It's
I
a
don't know.
little bit of both, but I, go back to right. So last year, Arroyo was injured.
mm-hmm,
This year, he came back.
mm-hmm,
He's been up and down, but largely he has remained a non-factor.
right,
Besides him and McCormick,
right.
who else is seeing the field? Who else is making plays out there? Now layer that with the fact that Dawson in his air raid offense didn't use the tight ends that much to begin with.
And I personally think that utilizing a tight end, even if it's just a little 5 yard across the middle, just something would just make it better. It would help so much. So much, That's just me. But then again, I've been so used to having tight ends because Miami tight end, you always had a dependable tight end. Even though since with Mallory, things have kind of digressed,
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hey,
Cuban Kane says, Bryce, we have to move on. TVD takes all the energy from the team.
see, but here's my thing though. You got 2 weeks left of the regular season. You got Louisville, and you got Boston College, and then you have a bowl game. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but again, Jakari hasn't even taken reps with the first team. He's literally an emergency.
He hasn't even got a snap this season.
And he's literally an emergency quarterback. Like, what's Jakari gonna do? Run the ball all damn day? How's his actually been? We don't know. So
And
and then it goes back to, and then we go back to, quarterback play has not been good. Why is the play call like, bro? What else do you want to do? It's like what George said. It's a shit show, dude. What other options are we gonna do? Are we just gonna run the Wildcat? Are we gonna put DJ Giles back there and have him run the Wildcat? What do you want to
Well,
do?
I mean, I think the choices. I mean, honestly, let's be honest with ourselves. Before we fall into the Jakari TVD group thing, I think the obvious choice is clear. Either the coaching staff is going to say, you know what, let's put Jakari in there, or let's just hope TVD can keep it below 2 interceptions. I mean, that's the only choices they have. And with Jakari, again, I don't have a guy flying a drone over Green Tree, but if Jakari, we'll find out, whatever reports we hear Monday,
Yeah.
if Jakari's taking any reps,
Yeah.
so
Like it's no shot. It's no shot to keep a kid or anything. I
no,
understand
no,
what
no,
he's
no,
saying.
no, 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 no.
I completely understand what he's saying, but at the same time, like your options are very limited right now. Our freshman quarterback has a broken arm. He's done for the season. Not to mention we just burned his red shirt. I understand you could use your card because you would still be able to save his red shirt. But again, hasn't taken a snap all season long, hasn't taken any snaps with the first team offense. Could Jakari probably maybe give you the best chance to win a game? Maybe. But at the same time, and then it goes back to, well, what else do we have left to lose? Like, and then it also goes back to, like, well, at the end of the day, we don't get to make the decision on who's going to be our starting quarterback. You either get Tyler Van Dyke, Jakari Brown, or we run it with the Wildcat.
What was you go? I think I interrupted you, Kane, today. What was you going to say?
Oh, well, I kind of forgot right now. What were we talking about?
I don't know. We're all over the shop, but
I was
if
watching
it's
I was watching replays of the college football game.
if it was my choice, okay, if I was not sitting here on YouTube spouting knowledge and wisdom as a football guru, what the hell do you lose by let Jakari get out there? Let him get some reps with the first team this week. Let him get out there, see what he does. Because you already know what you're going to get with TVD. Okay. I don't know. It's a crazy situation, man. I don't think there's a right answer, and I don't think there's a wrong answer.
I agree with Bryce. I think we should just ride it out for these last 2 to 3 games with Van Dyke and just move on. Try to find a portal guy.
And that there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Instead of having 3 horses in a race, we only have 2, so it kind of makes things a little easier. You know what I mean? But other than the quarterback situation, I know that. Oh man, which Brown guy is number 6? Is that Devontae?
That's Damari.
Damari. I was close. See, if I was a real Canes fan, I'd have known that.
Devontae Brown is number 7, and Damari Brown is number 6.
Okay. I tell you what, I know he had a couple of issues, but I tell you what, I'm really starting to like
Damari Brown has a lot of potential. Devontae, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been too impressed with him, to be honest with you.
Well, son of a bitch.
Today I was impressed with Jedias Richard. I think is that his name. I always butcher his name.
Jedias Richard, transfer out of Vanderbilt. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Whistle's a hard guy to cover, so.
I didn't mean to get all Tourette syndrome on you, but LSU was only beating Florida 17-14 at halftime. Well, that just friggin' sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I mean, yeah, I tell you what, I mean, the good thing is the running game, if they can get some sweeps and counters and whatevers, I think the running game's going to be okay. I think the offensive line's going to be okay. I think the defensive line's going to be okay. The linebackers are looking good. If we can just get some cornerbacks that are taller than 6 foot, we'll be all right, and then turn their head. But I think for all practical purposes tonight, they did okay. They did have some pass interference calls that were kind of, could have gone either way. And then they did have some that weren't called. But I will say this, though. I still think the defensive backs are getting better. And I think a lot of that has to do with the defensive front.
Cameron Kinches really did kill me today. Kill us.
Well, I
You
think
mind if I
got hurt.
You mind if I comment on that one?
Sure.
Sorry,
Yeah, you mind if I comment on that one?
I'm just wondering if Workforce is still awake.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm
all right.
hopping in and out with work stuff.
I know.
The hotline's
Yeah.
going off all day.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Bryce.
I think Cam hasn't really been himself since that injury against
Yep.
A&M. I really do. And I think and honestly, I don't know what the injury was, but I feel like it had to be like a concussion or something like that.
It was concussion.
And
Yeah.
not only that, he's playing scared after that injury.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't really blame him,
No.
I mean, I really can't. And on top of that, now his leg, foot, whatever the heck it is now injured. So you can definitely tell that he was definitely limping for sure. I mean, it was obvious. We all saw it. We all watched the game. I still think Cam Kitchens still, provides, that spark and presence for this defense. But I think the way that he's been lately, I think you got to rest him. I don't think, I really do. I think you got to rest him. I think you got to put somebody else in there. I don't know who, um, you know, but again, we'll see what they do with that. As far as James Williams goes, he's definitely got to wrap up and tackle for sure. One of the things that I didn't, there goes my phone.
You don't have to throw your phone, dude. It's gonna be okay.
Nah, I got my phone. I got my phone set up here.
I understand.
Yeah. Well, I didn't need to throw. I didn't need to throw my phone tonight though, because we actually kept it close. Um, but yeah, nah. I think going back to James Williams, he definitely needs to wrap up and tackle. The one thing that I get it, he's gonna trash talk and stuff like that, but the problem is that when you do that, bro, we don't need taunting penalties.
When you do
He's
that with
gotta,
a Miami jersey,
yeah,
say the quiet part out loud.
yeah. We all know where that goes. But I don't
I
know,
mean,
man.
no, I love. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love his enthusiasm. I love James's go do can do attitude. I really do. It's just sometimes. I mean, because the dude's got the talent. He has got the talent. It's just sometimes he just kind of, from what I see, it just seems like he lets emotion dictate his judgment, and sometimes it gets the best of him.
He like does
Oh,
too much.
Boy.
The part that no one's talking about is that if you look back from last year, he's made a huge improvement on that.
oh yeah, yeah,
Last
yeah.
year he couldn't control it. This
Right.
year it looks like he's learning to say, okay, I might not make the play, somebody else will. I just have to do what I need to do. But
Right,
it's
right.
reared its head at key times this year. But he's gotten better at it from last year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
and
no doubt he needs
and
to
you-
be on the field.
yeah, and you know what's fun? You know what's funny about that too is I forget what play it was. I don't know if it was like 2nd and 10, 3rd and whatever. And I think they got a stop, or I think they got the first down, and then James Williams was talking crap, and I see Coach Adai Lily Tom's like, "Yo, dude, shut the hell up." And I was like, "Yeah," like, no, you need to tell him to shut up, man. We don't need stupid freaking penalties, man. It's
Right.
already
It's
bad
like,
enough. It's
yeah,
already
it's
bad
like,
enough that we were already getting penalties in the game.
hang on. Dude, I'm about to get me like a siren or a light or something because we have another new person to the fellowship. Look at this. Roderick Berry. Somebody, well, we got all kind of new people tonight. Either they feel sorry for us or they're just that bored. I don't know. But we're glad to have
Blaming Mario.
No, that's
No,
one
no,
of
no.
our own. Yeah.
No. He says, hang on. Let's initiate him right. Mr. Barry says, y'all blame Mario for everything. We're not ready yet. We're 2 years away, but we're better than last year.
Thank you.
Hey,
Hey, here's
now,
what we'll do. Here's what we'll do, Jordan. We'll start with you, and then we'll go across the board.
hey, it's my channel. I make the rules. I'm joking with you. I'm joking. Hey, somebody needs to be the adult in the room because this sure the hell ain't me. I'm just having fun with this.
Yeah.
I'm not. How can I say this? I'm not blaming Mario for everything, but in the same breath, he is the head coach. I'm not saying every single thing that goes wrong is Mario's fault. I'm not saying that, but I will say he is the head coach. Now, again, I said earlier, I don't know. I don't know what kind of managerial style he has in that. Does he give Dawson and Guidry full control and he stays out? Oops. I don't know. Does Mario override anything? I don't know. I don't know. I don't really go out and But I mean, it does start with him. Okay. Oh, because I mean, that's just part of being the head coach. I'm not saying that the TVD interception tonight was Mario's fault. I'm not saying the play calling was Mario's fault because honestly, I really don't know. But I do question him as the head coach because he is the end all be all. Okay. And again, I don't know what kind of system he has set up. You know, I was one of the ones that rooted for Mario to come here. But, we're only in year 2. And yeah, I do have some frustrations about what's going on. But, I don't blame him, but he is the head coach and he should be accountable for all the stuff that's going on. Okay, Bryce, your turn.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with what you said for sure. I don't blame Mario Cristobal. I think what Mario Cristobal has done so far up to this point, I think he's done a pretty good job. He's made improvements to our offensive line. He's made improvements to our defense. Special teams has been good for the most part. We know that he can recruit. Obviously, there are some things that are pretty frustrating, like clock management. Clock management needs to be better. Obviously, play calling needs to be better. Overall across the board, coaching needs to be better. But again, everything is really a process. You know, uh, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Rome wasn't built in a day, but in no way, shape, or form am I going to really blame Mario Cristobal because it's only his second year. You know, and it kind of goes back to some of the Canes fans that are saying, "Oh, fire Mario Cristobal" and all this stuff. Like, bro, we can't keep doing that. Can't keep doing that because every time that we do that, we're right back to square one. And then next thing you know, we're having these type of conversations of this, that, blah, 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 and whatsoever. So yeah, no, there's no blaming Mario Cristobal. However, there does need to be ownership for sure, and there needs to be ownership for himself, for the coaching staff, and whoever else that might be. Um, but with that said, I don't blame him at all. I think we are definitely going in the right direction for sure. Um, and hopefully we continue to build off of that. But I'm not blaming Mario Cristobal at all. We got to let the man build. And with that, I'll send it over to Canes today.
All right. I'm not blaming Mario specifically, but like the the third quarter timeouts, like we gotta quit that. Like I don't understand what we're doing right there. Um, he he just like we need those timeouts for this big time game, and we lost the game because we didn't have that timeout.
Workforce, you with us?
I'm here. Sorry about that. I thought Kane
No, no,
said they
no,
would have
no,
had more
no.
to
Don't.
say.
No, don't apologize. I just want to make sure if you were off doing what you needed to do, then I was gonna add one final rebuttal. But speak your mind.
We can see what it's supposed to look like and where it's going, but at a certain point, everything is going to fall back on Mario. But it's not helping the talk that he's a bad game manager with those third quarter timeouts, etc. But we got to go back to Mario and Lashley. Those teams were super undisciplined. We're trying to undo 20 years of bad. It's not going to get better in 2 years. Just give the man some time. I don't think a lot of it's warranted. Would you rather him take the timeout or 1st and 15 or 2nd and 20, and you're even in a worse hole than you were? That's just what I think. But
And I think that a lot of us Canes fans are just so frustrated with the BS that we've been putting up with for the last while now. And I think what happens is the frustration builds and builds, and everybody has their own way of dealing with it. And that could be either saying it's all Mario's fault, or it's all TVD's fault, or it's all this fault, that fault, and everything. And I think that's just the nature of the beast. Now, I don't want to say blame. I think I hold Mario accountable. But I don't say it's his. I don't, and if I have, then I'll say I was wrong, but he's accountable for it. I was just looking while I was listening, but Toast from the Orange Bowl boys had he had a little rant session a few days ago. If you go to the Orange Bowl boys OBB on YouTube, the title of the video is Toast Goes Off on coaching staff. And for about 9 minutes, he just goes off, So I would recommend if you want to hear a different perspective. Now, he does blame Mario because, Mario has a history of bad clock management and all this and that and the third. But I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I just don't know. But that's just my opinion.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Sure, please.
Okay. So say we did score the touchdown on the last final drive, 24-23. What would you guys do? Go for 1 or would you go for 2? For the win.
Well, that I go for 2. But
Same.
again, I'm not trying to speak out the other side of my mouth. But see, that's a decision that should be made before the game's even played. In other words, when I'm sure Mario has breakfast, coach's breakfast or lunch or something. I don't know. I'm sure they all get together for a Zoom meeting before the game and they work out these scenarios to where, if we're down and we score and we're like a 2-point conversion away from winning the game, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Because I just find it hard to believe that scenarios like that are not discussed in some type of pregame coaching meeting or something. Y'all see where I'm getting at? In other words, if I was the head coach and let's say we have our Friday walkthrough, game plan, dress rehearsal. Well, that Friday night or Friday afternoon, depending on where we're playing or how we're playing, we'd be like, all right, let's meet up at the Burger King or Publix for a chicken sandwich. And let's discuss scenarios. Okay. Number 1 being is, okay, we're playing Florida State. If we score and we, at the end of the game, and we get to where we're like, a 2-point conversion from winning, what do we do? You make your decision. Okay, here's what we do. We go for it, and here's what we run based on this. And then based on, you start getting all these contingency plans. And Cuban, there's no right or wrong answer. Okay. Me, depends on how the game was going. Like tonight, with the way the defense was playing, I would probably go ahead and take my chances in overtime. Okay. But this is a decision that should be made days before the game even happens. Who's next? Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Cuban King. I would have to agree with him. I understand. I like the aggressiveness to go for two to try to win the game, but at the same time, considering that our last two games were in double overtime and then overtime against Virginia, I would definitely take my chances with going into overtime with Florida
Yeah, I mean
State.
we're 2-0 in overtime.
Yeah.
Play the numbers.
Yeah, for sure. But I also agree with what you said too. I think, in a scenario like that, I feel like there is discussion about that if it were to go into overtime, Okay, if it goes into overtime, what play call, or if you want to go for a 2-point conversion and try to win the game, what play are we calling? Are we running it? Are we throwing a screen? Are we throwing it over the top?
Not the screen. No more screens.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, we don't want no more screens, but
Oh shit.
yeah, but I definitely would have played for overtime, 100%.
Yeah, we should take that screen off the playbook. I mean, I always get so mad when they always do that. We came out that timeout. It was 3rd and 12. Ran that screen and got negative yards. I just don't understand.
Get rid of the screen. Get rid of running up in the middle. Unless you're on the goal line and you go into that Philadelphia Eagle rugby style
The tush
type of
push.
formation. Other than that, what about
Yeah,
you,
that's the one.
Workforce? He must be busy.
Let's
That's fine.
go hypothetical here, right?
Okay.
Suppose we score the touchdown. Mario goes for 2, and he loses the game.
Well, it's his fault. I blame
we would
Mario.
flip shit.
It just depends on what the
and
play call
literally
is.
nail him to a cross tomorrow.
I blame Mario.
I think you take your chances and you go into overtime, considering they kind of shut down the run in the 3rd quarter, especially in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
That would probably been your best chance. But
I mean, fans are going to complain anyways. So.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. We could be undefeated. We could be 10-0 right now. Okay, we could have beaten Florida State, say 28-27. We could be 10-0, and you would have that same group, that same nucleus of knuckleheads, that knucklehead nucleus that would have something wrong, that'd be complaining about something. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yep. But if tonight, with the way things are going, yeah, play for the overtime. Just because of the defense. But again, that's something that they should have discussed, prior to the game. But yeah, I would have just went ahead and went for the overtime, because what you gonna do? Get into a field goal kicking shootout? We know how Florida State is with field goals.
Hey, I mean, it wasn't a 50 burger today, so that's something to be positive about.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, it was only a 7-point loss. Now, of course, any whether you lose by 1 or lose by 100, it's a loss. But it's the way, with the way this team is trying to rebuild, regroup, restructure, reform, whatever. You got to take this as a positive, just based on how they hung in there and how they kept Florida State, the number 4 team, undefeated at Tallahassee, and only held them like they did. Because I mean, if you take away that punt return, tie game, and I have a shot at winning the $300 score prediction.
Plus, like, FSU got bailed out.
Yeah.
On that safety, like, what?
Cuban
Are those
says
ACC refs?
Cuban says he's part of that group. Leave him alone. But and that's just and honestly though, the knucklehead nucleus, as I call it, there are some that just they always expect the perfection. They expect everything to be perfect. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you got the knucklehead nucleus basically to me in essence is this group of people who were upset because a lot of the people were saying that Miami was only going to go 7-5, 8-4 on their preseason predictions. They got upset because, why y'all say we're going to be that bad, that good? We're not going to be that good. And then, when we got past the first 4 games, then those same group of folks said, well, we're going undefeated. Yeah. And then now it's like those same group of people are now saying, we ain't no good. We suck. And then those are the ones who said, start Emery. TVD sucks. Start Emery. TVD sucks. And then tonight they're like, Emery sucks. Put TVD back. You see where I'm getting at? And I'm not. It's not so much it's not the same people, but it's just that mindset. Y'all know what I mean? It's like no matter what, they just got to have something to bitch about just to bitch about it. And I'm not saying anybody in our youth fellowship here is like that, but y'all see it. I know y'all see it. And it's and then that's what ticked me off this week, because you had so many of these people. And even last night on Coop's show, I noticed that once I got off of my soapbox and I hung up, it's like the morale just went. Nobody thought, it's like everybody's like, we ain't got a chance in hell to win this game. We're going to get blown out. Yeah. But I'm a Canes fan. I think we'll win. I'll root for them. But we're not going to win this game. Yeah. Now, again, there's a difference between thinking that you're not going to win the game versus the why play it attitude, the Eeyore attitude. That's what ticked me off, But I don't know. So let's move to a new order of business, shall we? Let's move to the game next week against Louisville. What do y'all think? What's going to happen? We'll start with hey, let's mix it up. Let's start with Canes today. Okay. How about you, Workforce? What you think's going to happen with Louisville next week?
It's a winnable game. Do I feel good about it? I'd say I feel better than I felt 3 or 4 weeks ago, when everybody was talking about Louisville going undefeated and conference championships. I think we have a shot. We'll be all right. That's the one that scares me the most out of that one and Boston College. But if we should be able to get it done. If it's got to be an ugly, grinded out game, bring it on.
You still with us, Canes, today, or can I want me to move on to Bryce? Okay. All right, Bryce, go ahead. Don't worry, Canes today will be back. Go ahead, Bryce.
Yeah. I think Louisville is definitely beatable. I mean, you go back and watch some of their games. They've had some pretty close games. 13-10 against NC State. That was a defensive slugfest. Their one lone loss is against a pretty bad Pitt team. Kind of slept in that game, and give credit to where credit is due. I know Virginia has not been, great this year, but looking at the overall games that they played, only lost a couple of those games by 3 points, touchdown. I mean, they gave Louisville everything that they had. So I think Louisville is definitely beatable, but I do think Louisville is definitely going to play hard. Plummer's a pretty good quarterback. I think what Jeff Brom is doing over there, he's doing a pretty good job. First year head coach at Louisville. We all know what he did at Purdue. Did pretty good things at Purdue. I don't know who their star players are on their offense or defense, or how their special teams is. That's something that I'm gonna have to go back and look at for sure. But I think we could beat Louisville. I do, but it also has to go back to taking care of the football. No turnovers, limit the penalties. Got to get creative on offensive play calling. Like you've been saying earlier, got to stop with these screens and running it up the middle. We got to be more creative on there. We got to keep our defense rested because we can't just keep putting our defense back on the field after so many 3-and-outs, which is something that we did in tonight's game. We got to keep those boys fresh. Honestly, more than anything, I think it's mainly just been the turnovers, man. It's been the turnovers. I mean, penalties are one thing, but if we could just stop turning the ball over and also get some drives getting going, and and put up some touchdowns in the red zone and come away with points, we give ourselves a pretty good position to win the game. But it also comes down to quarterback play and play calling. But overall, it's going to be a tough game. But I think if we can do all the little things right, I think we can come out with a win. But obviously, there's more of an in-depth conversation trying to break down Louisville's roster against our roster. So we'll see how
Yeah.
things shape up. But with that being said, I'm gonna switch it over to Kansas Bay.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
so we're just kind of kicking the can around about Louisville next week.
Oh, Louisville.
Yeah, nothing in depth,
Um,
just kind of a eye test, see what we think.
they do got Jeff Brom back at Louisville.
Yeah.
He built up Purdue in the
Mhm.
Big East, Big Ten East,
Mhm.
West. My bad.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
He has a lot of rebuilding to do at Louisville before he can win a game
Right.
like Miami. So I do think Miami wins this game. Um, I think it was Bryce or somebody. Somebody said it. They had like a weak schedule, and they haven't really played anybody besides like Notre Dame. So I think we expose them this game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just sitting here looking at their little team page on ESPN. Yeah, they beat Georgia Tech, Murray State, Indiana, Boston College, NC State. Yeah, they beat Notre Dame. They lost to Pittsburgh. They beat Duke, beat Virginia Tech, beat Virginia. They're sitting at 6-1. Uh, if Miami was to win, okay, if Miami was to win, and of course,
I
we're
mean,
not we're not going to get into the starting quarterback because that could just bring all kind of variables. Let's just take that out the equation. But uh just talking about Louisville right quick. I mean, they're 6-1. All right. So if Miami was to win, okay, well, that would put them at 6-2. Which, if North Carolina, I mean, they've already beat NC State with 2 losses. Virginia Tech's got 2 losses. They beat Duke with 2 losses. Now, North Carolina, they have not played North Carolina. Okay. So, but North Carolina still has 2 more. North Carolina still has to first get past Duke and then beat Clemson and NC State. So, you know, who knows what's going to happen? So nothing really stands out on their schedule other than Notre Dame. They do have Jack Plummer, which I'm assuming is Jake's son or relative. You remember Jake Plummer from what was it, Arizona State? Then he's Jake.
Uh,
Yeah, Jake Plummer.
they
Not Jack Plummer. I'm sorry. What's that?
they got the unless I'm not mistaken, they got the best. Jordan, he's
Yeah.
leading the rusher in the ACC.
I was just about to say that. You got Plummer with 2,400 yards passing with 16 touchdowns, and Mr. Jordan. I'm not going to even try to say that first name, Jawhar. Anyway, but Mr. Jordan has about 976 yards rushing, and their leading receiver is Jamari Thrash with 734.
Is D Wiggins still on that team?
That I don't know. But regardless of the fact, I kind of go along with Cuban. I mean, all that. I mean, we do play him at Hard Rock, but depending on who the quarterback is, I don't know. I really don't know. I guess as of now, TVD will be the starting quarterback. Unless something else happens. I can only hope with TVD under center that Miami has a chance. I don't know. I don't know what TVD's mindset's going to be now, because I don't know how pissy he was, because he did look kind of pissed that he wasn't on the field tonight. And Emory was. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to start anything, but he didn't look too happy. But I don't know. It'll be curious to see what the point spread is when it comes out either tomorrow or Monday. It looks like it's going to be one of those noon Eastern games at Hard Rock, so there probably won't be too many people there. I'm sure Bryce will be there. I'm sure he'll be there. So honestly, it looks like win, lose, or draw, Louisville has nothing really to lose in this game. They could lose to Miami and still be in the ACC championship. So it is what it is. But again, it's Saturday night. We got another 6 days to talk about that. But should be interesting. I think the big question is going to be the quarterback situation now. That's going to provide some interesting entertainment. Interesting entertainment. So, before we get out of here, because it's almost 9:00 my time, 10:00 y'all's time. Let's get some parting shots, final words, final thoughts before we get out of here. Bryce, before we get out of here, give us your final thoughts, ideas, theories, statements.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts, and then I got one quick question for you that's not Canes football related. So, final thoughts. Proud of the team tonight. Proud of the effort. They didn't lay down. They didn't quit. Like what I saw out of Wesley Passant tonight. Like what I saw out of Emory Williams. Played his heart out. Wish him nothing but the best and a speedy recovery for that young man. Jacoby George made some big time plays tonight as well. Francisco Malgoa made some big plays. Ruth Bain, even though Florida State did a pretty good job, keeping him in contain. He still was able to get his presence felt. Uh, Overall, I thought the defense played pretty good for the most part. Uh, Still would like to keep the penalties down, even though I know we only had one interception, one turnover to end the game. Still, I think you got to be pretty happy with that. Um, well, obviously, not any of the game off an interception is not a good feeling. But still, even though that was our only turnover of the game, still, um, yeah, man. I mean, overall, I'm glad that we didn't get blown out. I'm glad we kept it into a game. I think we're definitely on the right track. You know, I I like our offensive line. I like what we got going on defense. Special teams. It's special teams. The biggest question heading into this week, and I guess towards the end of the season, is the quarterback situation. Is it going to be TVD? Is it going to be Jakari? Me personally, I think it's going to end up being TVD. Just my personal opinion. And whatever happens, happens. Uh, Obviously, being 6-6 is going to suck if that's the case. But then again, you know, college football is a crazy sport. You never know what's going to happen. Um, so we'll see, man. We'll see. Hoping the Canes, don't let this loss get them down. Hopefully, they can come out uh, energized. Get ready for Louisville. Hoping Restrepo has a bounce back game. Hopefully he keeps his head up high. He's gonna get his look. He's gonna get his looks, and he's gonna go catch some balls as well. Um, Offensive play calling needs to be better. Clock management obviously needs to be better. There's a lot of things that we definitely still need to work on for sure. But again, glad we kept it close. Glad this game was actually felt like a rivalry game. Instead of a blowout loss and just sitting there and being bored out of our minds. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the quarterback situation, and we'll see what happens with Louisville. And then my question to you, Jorn, is off topic. We need to get into some baseball talk, my dude, because they already released a schedule. We need to get into that.
I've been trying to avoid that as long as possible.
Yeah, I could tell you've been trying to avoid that if possible, but
I want to get through one thing at a time. We get through the football, get through this
Yeah.
nonsense for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll pick up on it. We'll get into it because that's whoo. You think this football team is something? Just wait till this baseball season kicks.
That's the reason why I want to get in this conversation, man. We got to talk about this.
Because I'll be honest with you, dude. I've been paying attention to the football. I haven't even looked at any of the stuff for baseball. So it's going to be
interesting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But now let's get the Florida Canes today. Let's get his final thoughts.
Well, apparently Mr. Canes today was having some issues. Now he's asking us what is happening with my phone. I don't know, dude. I'm not online support. I don't know what kind of phone you got. I don't know what's going on. I mean, all right. We'll give Canes today some time to figure it out. So I guess my final thought, parting shot, whatever is basically it's what we've been talking about. It sucked that we lost. I was really hoping Miami would have won. I'm really glad. Well, first I hope Emory will be all right. I hope it's just, I hate to say it, I hope it's not serious. Hopefully it was a clean break. They can put in a cast like we all been through as kids with broken arms, and he'll be all right. But I was, Mr. Ryan Mitchell, go Noles, 10-0, you down. I figured there was going to be one of those show up. Right of the line says TVD is Miami's opponent's backup quarterback. Okay. But saw some good things. Saw some good things tonight. Saw some things we still need to improve on. But I think overall things they're starting to turn. They're starting to turn. But the quarterback situation has really gotten interesting. It's
It definitely is, man. I
it,
mean,
it's
it definitely opens up a lot of questions, man.
it does, and it's gonna spark some debate. It's gonna spark debate starting
it,
tomorrow,
it,
if not 2 hours ago.
it's not gonna surprise me. Um, and I don't mean to bring up Coop here, but it's not gonna be surprised if that ends up being one of his talking points, which understandably so. But it's not going to be a surprise. Like if I go throughout social media or even on YouTube and Canes fans are talking about, okay, what are we going to do at quarterback and how's play calling going to be? It's not going to shock me, but then again, I can't blame him because that's just going to be the topic of conversation.
Well, again, like I said earlier, you have your Jakari group, you have your TVD group, and then you might have an indifferent group who's going to be against any of it anyway.
Yep.
And it's come Friday night, it's like everybody's going to be like coming to fisticuffs, dude. It's which side of the fence are you on? Are you a Jakari guy or are you a TVD guy? And
Mm-hmm.
it's I mean, this is why they pay Mario the big bucks to make these executive decisions. And we'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Exactly.
But I will say that even though Miami did lose, I was kind of impressed with the game overall in that, the defense stepped up. They did pretty good.
I
Offense
agree.
did what they needed to do.
They did
And
enough. They did enough to keep us in the game.
they did. And it wasn't a big ass blowout that everybody expected. So I mean, but it was all right.
Yeah,
I'm okay. Well, I hate that we lost, but it is what it
clearly.
is. All right, Freebie. Before we shut it down, what's your final thought?
I'll echo what you said. Short of winning, this was everything we could have hoped for, and then more. There's a lot to be proud of. You can't come away from this not feeling proud.
Yeah. Of course, near the end of the at the end of the broadcast, of course, we get a Knowles fan in here talking about 10-0, you down, but let them have their fun now because the day of reckoning is at hand. And then right of the line says, I thought the rumor was that Brown might transfer. Dude, let me tell you something when it comes to rumors. Okay. Until it happens, it's just whatever. You hear all kind of stuff. It just depends on who you hear it from.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
mean,
tape on Jakari. There's limited tape, anyways. For him
yeah.
to transfer, he would have to build up some tape.
Right. And then again, why would he? I mean, with him being QB number 2 right now, with the possibility of being maybe 1, maybe 2 next spring, I just, again, it all goes back to that knucklehead nucleus.
To that one FSU fan, you can't spell FSU without the U. This one's gonna cost you, buddy.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Let them have their fun now. But Yeah, I know a lot of people are talking about Jakari transfer, but I was seeing that, Jakari asked to be redshirted so he could get better and improve, you know. But again, we'll see.
So everyone forgets that was supposed to be the plan last year before
Yeah.
TBD went down, and
Yep.
he knew when he went to Miami that it was going to be a 2 or 3 year project.
Right. So again, even if Jakari decides he don't want to be here anymore, it's not the end of the world. Okay, if he wants to stay, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be, But too bad Canes today couldn't. Are you trying to get back on Canes today? Because I didn't want to
Yeah,
dismiss
yeah.
until he had a chance.
I think he said he's getting on his computer.
Okay. We'll chit chat a little while. We'll talk about this Jakari thing until Canes today shows up. But yeah, I mean,
There
let
was
go ahead.
there was a thing that I saw that somebody posted a while back ago. And it had to do with, if we were to go get a transfer portal quarterback. And I was looking at it and I was like, okay. And one of the quarterbacks that, don't quote me on it, but it would definitely be an interesting pickup and an interesting choice would be Malik Murphy out of Texas.
Well, here's the thing. So Emory, God bless the boy, he's out. He won't see anything until next year. You got Jakari on red shirt.
Yep.
You got Judd coming in next year. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm assuming he's still coming.
Yeah.
So
He's definitely coming. But that also leaves the question of where does TVD stand?
well, from what I saw tonight, and until I see what Judd looks like and Jakari looks like, and from what I've seen from TVD, I don't see how TVD can be the starter next year unless he really makes a turnaround. I hate to say it.
So then here's my question then. Once the season's over,
Mm-hmm.
with 2 weeks left.
Right.
Now, let's just say hypothetically here, TVD balls out the next 2 games, and he's looking like 2021 version of Tyler Van Dyke. Or let's not even go that.
Right.
Let's not go that far. Let's say he's looking like TVD in the first 4 games.
Okay.
And let's say he does play in a bowl game and we win a bowl game, which we haven't done since 2016. Now,
Something
at
like
that
that.
point, something like that. Now, at that point, do you start to change your mind? Or do you still think Tyler Van Dyke goes?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at right now, okay, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But as of right now, based on what we've seen, now
Right.
it all depends on the performance on the field.
True.
If okay, you said we're speaking hypothetical, so let's speak hypothetical here.
Right.
So let's say
right.
let's say TVD comes out next week and he looks like a Heisman Trophy winner that he was projected to be. Okay, comes out and just lights out gunslinger, bro. Okay,
Mhm.
no turnovers, 400 yards passing, 3 or 4 touchdowns against Louisville. Comes out against, he does what he did early in the season and what he did back in 2021. And then does the same. I mean, if he does a complete turnaround and he performs on the field, sure, fine, no problem. But we haven't seen that yet. And all we can do is just make the assumption and presumption that
Correct.
he's going to be the same TVD that we saw. Now,
Yeah.
Another variable in that equation is how healthy has he been? Okay. Not making
Mhm.
excuses, just asking the question.
No,
But
you're being realistic and factual.
but I guess to answer your question, if TVD was to do a 180 and
Yep.
just come out and play lights out the next 2 weeks, and then comes out and plays lights out in the bowl game, well, yeah, depends on what it looks like in the spring, fall camp. But
Hmm.
yeah, I would say so. But I'm really trying not to be Eeyore here, but we just have to see what happens.
Yeah, no, that's why it goes to the word hypothetical here. Now being realistic on it, I don't. It's really hard to say. He realistically could come back for one more year, and he could try to improve his game. And he could fix the mistakes that he's been going through this year. But on the other hand, it goes back to what Goop said earlier. I think in one of the streams that he mentioned. I don't know if he mentioned it in a stream or just in the video, saying that NFL scouts, have been scouting him, and if he were to go to the draft, he would get drafted, but he would be a late draft pick. I don't know about now because of the way that he's been performing. And on top of that, let's just say, okay, he doesn't go to the draft, but he goes into the transfer portal. And on that end, you're still going to have Evan Williams. You're still going to have Jakari Brown if all these rumors are not true. And then you have Judd Anderson coming in. Now at that point, you're gonna have no choice but to go in the portal and bring in a experienced quarterback, which kind of circles all the way back to like this whole quarterback situation sucks. It just
It
sucks.
does. It does. And again, if you know, odds are TVD will start next week. TVD will probably start against Boston College. Okay. Now, whether or not TVD wants to come back next year or go pro next year, you know, he's going to have to do something to help himself out. Okay. In other words,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can't continue to average 2 interceptions a game and
No, he
expect
can't.
for whatever to
He
happen.
he can't keep averaging 2 interceptions a games, and he can't be a statue in the pocket.
Right.
I
Exactly.
mean,
Exactly.
he
He
well technically he can because he's got an offensive line. But at the same time, when things start cracking down, he's got to have awareness in the pocket. You know,
right.
and right now, and what we've seen in the last couple of games, he doesn't have any pocket awareness. He has a hard time trying to read the zone defense, and I think that's something that he definitely needs to work on for sure. You know, it's not me knocking Tyler Van Dyke because
No, 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 no.
When Tyler Van Dyke's on, he's on.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just it's really, and again, it's so hard to pinpoint exactly what the hell happened during that bye week. Like what happened?
Something. I mean, I don't know
So,
if the
something had to happen. Something had to happen. I don't know if it's his ligaments. I don't know if it's his bruised knee. I don't know if it had to do something with him watching film. I don't know, or if it had to do something with a conversation between the coaches and Dawson. I don't know if it has to do with Mario Cristobal, handcuffing Dawson or Dawson doing it. We don't. And again, it goes back
right.
to we as Canes fans, we don't know,
Right.
and it honestly it's frustrating. It
It
really
it
is.
is. It is. And that's what makes these conversations so entertaining because there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer because we don't know what the answer is. But I do know this, and I'm just throwing this out here, that when TVD had his good year in 2021, That's when Lashley was here as the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
So I'm not saying anything, but who knows?
Right.
You know, if and again, if I mean if he wants to transfer out, well, good luck to you. Appreciate your service. Have a nice day. You know, but other than those 4 games prior to the bye week, that's about the only 4 good games he's really had since 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. It's funny that we are talking about the cornerback situation. And I know we're just chit chatting here because I know we're waiting on Kane today. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not.
I don't know.
Yeah. But it's funny that we are talking about the quarterback situation. Let's just say they don't start Tyler Van Dyke. What's your confidence level if they do decide to start Jakari?
I can honestly say I don't know. Just for the simple fact that I don't want to fall into the trap that a lot of other folks are falling into, in that they're judging this year's Jakari Brown's performance on what happened last year, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he's a talented young man. He
He
was
has a
just
lot
in a
of
he was in a shitty situation last year.
exactly. He's got
You
a lot
know,
of he's got a lot of
he does.
athleticism. He can run. We know he can run the ball.
Hmm.
We know he can throw it. He's just got to work on his accuracy.
Right.
It,
And again, last year he was running for his life.
yeah,
You
because
know?
we had no offensive line. Not
Right.
to mention we were injured as all hell, and on top of
Yeah,
that,
exactly. That's
again,
why
two different offense corners as well from last year to
exactly.
this year.
Exactly. And that's why I would have loved to have seen him get some time in some mop-up duty, or maybe play a little bit against Virginia, give him the Virginia game or something. Just to kind of see how is he looking? How is he progressing? Put him in some game time situation. But right now, I don't know. You
See,
know,
what I would have done the same thing that NC State was doing against us. I would have done the same thing what they were doing against like with Brendan Armstrong, where they were giving him some packages where he was running the ball. I would have done the same thing with
right,
Jakari.
right.
You know, if you give him some game time experience, you know, and if he did get some snaps in this season with the first team, second team, whatever, preferably with the first team, then we can sit here and say, okay, we're somewhat confident with him, playing the last 2 games, but I don't know, man. It
Well,
it sucks as Canes fans, bro, because it's like, we've had this conversation last year with the quarterback controversy with TVD and then, Jakari and then Jake Garcia. And now we're back in the same position of, well, we decided to finally start Evan Williams, but now Evan Williams is hurt, and obviously, we're hoping and praying that he's okay and it's nothing too serious. But now you're in a situation where you got to play a pretty good Louisville team, and then after that you got to go and play Boston College up in Boston College, and it's gonna be cold as hell up there, and it's just
again,
it's beating the dead horse to dust.
it is. It's one of those vicious circles. You have pros and cons for every situation out there, but and then another thing. Okay, so let's say hypothetical. Who's to say that next week against Louisville, TVD gets out there in the first half, he's already got 3 picks and only like 70 yards passing. What do? Do you continue? Do you put your car in? In other words,
Put Brashard in.
this goes back to Mario as the head coach, the leader of the pack. You know, he should be having that conversation tomorrow, if not tonight, with his coaching staff. Him and Dawson should be sitting down at the patio, got some steaks or chicken grilling, got a beer in the hand, and talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to sit there and then just like, well, I mean, we'll start TVD and then whatever. But I mean, these are the conversations they need to have now, the coaching staff, and stick with it. Come up with the game plan and stick with it. Come out and say, hey, yeah, we're in a shitty situation. Emery's hurt. TVD's having some issues. Okay. But we're going to ride or die with him. You see what I'm getting? I mean, I wish there was a clear-cut answer, but that's one thing about Miami football. There's never really a clear-cut answer.
There really never is, man. And it's the life of really being a Miami Hurricanes fan, man. It is a roller coaster.
It is.
It really is, man. And to some of the Canes fans that, and I'm pretty sure there's some Canes fans right now that are probably giving Mario some crap right now about, why'd you start Aaron Williams? Now he's hurt, and now you burn his red shirt. Now it's all for nothing. It's like, you guys wanted him. You are the same people that said you wanted to start Emory Williams over Tyler Reddick. Guess what? You got him. He played a pretty good game. Unfortunately, the circumstances is that he got hurt. Hopefully, hopefully again, it's nothing too serious. But
well, it's funny you say that because I think I talked about it earlier. There was like 10 or 11 minutes left in the game. And I was just kind of checking in on Coop, see how everything was. And, with about 10 or 11 minutes left in the game, you had people on his chat talking about, why is Emory playing? Should have put TVD in. Yeah. I'm like, it's so.
And I'm pretty sure it had to do with all those 3 and outs in the play calling. It's like, look,
right. I mean,
you got to understand the situation. It's not always the quarterback. It's coaching. It's a whole team effort, man. That's why football is a team effort sport. You got to coach it right. You got to execute the plays right. And if you're not firing on all cylinders, whether that's from a coaching perspective or a player perspective, you're not doing your job right. And again, I still got faith in Mario Cristobal. There's no question about that. And I got faith in Dawson and Guidry, et cetera, et cetera. It just, man, I'm telling you, Jordan, it's hysterical. It's hysterical, man.
And I agree with you. I mean, again, really, last year you had all these new coordinators. Okay. This year, you basically have all new coordinators. So it's almost like we just started over again.
Pretty much.
Okay. But in the whole picture, the whole body of work, the team has really not quit. They have tried to fight back. They've been successful fighting back. They've been unsuccessful fighting back. Yes, the turnovers from Tyler Van Dyke has been an issue the last month or two, week or two, 4, 5, 6 weeks now. It's been an issue. Okay.
Yes.
But overall, the whole body of work this year is an improvement from the team at this time last year.
Correct.
Okay. Last year he lost to the Middle Tennessee, struggled against Southern Miss. struggled in the first quarter against Bethune-Cookman. This year, we didn't struggle against Miami of Ohio, Temple. We took care of business with Bethune. Fought back against A&M. Now, again, I don't know what happened during the bye week, but what I'm saying, even as of right now, this team only lost by 7 to basically the same Florida State team that this team lost by 40 or 50 last year at home.
42.
And the team the year before that lost on the 4th and 14 call. But anyway, what I'm saying is things are getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And based on what I've seen, granted, you have to take the good with the bad, but overall, things have gotten better. They seem to be on a good trajectory. Some people probably want to have the TCU syndrome where you go from 5-7 to 11-1 or whatever they did last year, But time will tell. Time will tell with Mario. Time will tell with Dawson. I tell you what, though, I am impressed with Guidry, though. I am thoroughly impressed with Lance Guidry and his defensive coordinating.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
I think Guidry
Wow.
was a good hire. I think Guidry was definitely a good hire.
I'm like,
for sure.
Wow. Now, granted, I'm not saying Dawson isn't as impressive. I'm just saying it may take a little bit because of TVD shortcomings. You see what I'm getting at? Now, that doesn't excuse, 20 screen passes the other day, running straight up the middle, straight up the middle, straight up the middle. I'm just saying, I don't know what the method to their madness is. All I can say is, as a body of work, we're getting better as a team compared to last year. And that's really all we can ask for,
Yeah.
And then maybe, hopefully next year, we improve even better. Because right now, worst case scenario, Miami finishes 6-6 in the regular season. Best case scenario, they finish 8-4. So it's either 8-4, 7-5, 6-6. What did everybody say back in August, Bryce? 6-6, 7-5, 8-4. You see, so and again, I'm not trying to excuse anything. I'm not trying to make excuses for anything. I'm not trying to be an apologist or any. I'm just seeing what I see. It's just that the fact that, the Georgia Tech debacle, the North Carolina debacle, NC State debacle. That's what everybody sees.
Hey, right of the line, it says make a bowl. Hey man, we're bowl eligible. I don't know what bowl game.
I didn't even get into that part of the programming because then that gives you another month of practice.
Yeah.
That gives the team more time to do whatever. Even if it is I wish they would come to Shreveport to the Independence Bowl. That ain't but like 4 hours away from it. But that's beside the point. The point is, it's more time for the team to be able to practice. You know what I'm saying? And that could only make things better. Because if Miami wasn't going to a bowl game like last year, well, when that last game hits, that's it. You're done. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we would be having a different conversation.
Oh my gosh. But this could give. So who's to say? I know it's getting late, but who's to say that they don't let Jakari get some reps with the first team during that bowl season practice time? I don't know. Oh yeah, right of the line. I kind of like this dude, right of the line. Oh, by the way, welcome to the fellowship here. He says fans just put the cart ahead of the horse after the A&M game. That's Miami fans, dude. That's beat A&M, and we're going to win the ACC, and we're going to go to the national championship. You know,
It's expectations way up here, and then back to reality way down here.
and the big topic was, I know I said we were going to wrap it up, but I can't stop talking. But at the time, everybody thought A&M was going to be Mario's signature win.
Well,
And then,
if you
you
think
know,
about it, don't mean to cut
at
you off
at
here, John.
at the time, it was a significant win, signature win, good win, whatever you want to. At that time, it was
It was.
okay. But as time went by, well, things changed. And of course, everybody's like, "Well, Texas A&M wasn't worth a damn." Da, 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 you know. But as far as the program building, you have to win those A&M games. You have to win those Clemson games. You can't drop the Georgia Tech games. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I still, for me, and this is just probably an unpopular opinion, I still feel like it is still a signature win, Like, you kind of have to go back and look at the history of how long it's been since we've been an SEC team in over a decade, and then how long it's been since we've beaten Clemson. Those aren't. Look, you can say whatever you want about A&M, and you can say whatever you want about Clemson. I know Clemson is on the down year, blah blah blah, whatever. It's still Clemson. You know,
Well, when
the,
Miami started having their down years and everybody started beating up on us, nobody gave us the out of being on a down year. When people started beating on Miami, oh well, they thought, well, these teams are awesome. They're awesome. They didn't give us the benefit of the doubt of being in a down year. Just a little sidebar there. But yeah, I mean, you just gotta roll with the punches, take what you're given, and just take care of business. But you can't the team can't continue to be expect
right,
to be, you know, doing good, doing the Georgia Tech and North Carolina and NC State stuff.
right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Right of Line does have a comment if you want to read it here.
Let's see. That's because everyone keeps thinking A&M is going to be. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. And again, let's call it what it was. A&M was the second game of the season
Yes.
after the Miami Ohio game.
Yep.
So, it's September. Nobody knows anything. But like I said, at that time, it was a significant I hate to keep calling it signature win, but we'll call it signature win.
Let's say it like this. It was a big win.
Yes, exactly. But at that time, back in September, that was a big win. Okay. Again, hindsight is always 2020.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I get.
let's reframe that though, because what changed between then and now? You can still argue it's a signature win.
Oh yeah, I am not downplaying the A&M win. No. I'm just saying it still has significance.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have these folks that at that time, Miami beats Texas A&M, and next thing you know, we're going to the national championship. And then a couple of weeks later, oh, A&M wasn't that good. But
yeah,
don't get me wrong. The A&M victory was a very big win. It still is, But I just wish I knew what the hell happened in that bye week. That's all what the hell happened? That's the $64,000 question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Right of Line, that's right. I mean, yeah, A&M is 5-4 right now. But at the time, and it's still significant because if Miami had lost that game, we'd be 6-5 right now.
Yeah.
Looking at possibly going, Would we 6-5? No, we'd be 5-5, wouldn't we? Yeah.
Yes.
If we'd have lost, we'd be 5-5 with the possibility of going 5-7. Am I doing the math right?
I think so.
So
You would be 1-0 against Miami, Ohio. 1-1
Right,
against
right.
Texas A&M. You would be 3-1 heading into the bye week. You lose to Georgia Tech, so at that point you're
yeah, we'd be 5. Yeah.
3-2.
So
Yeah,
it's a good question
5-5.
here.
It would
So
be
so
5 and
Ryan
5.
says, but then again, they are in the SEC, so that makes them automatically better than most teams if you're a SEC fan. Well, it's not so much that as opposed to okay, yeah, A&M comes from the SEC, but compared to a Temple, Miami of Ohio, they have a little bit more clout to them. No different than when we got our ass kicked against Michigan State last year, year before last.
Or Alabama last year.
Or you know what I'm saying? Oh, it could be SEC, Pac-12, or Pac-2, whatever the hell they're gonna call themselves. Big Ten, versus
Pack,
playing,
pack,
the
packing
Temples
nobody.
from the Big East or the AAC or whatever the hell they call themselves, or Miami of Ohio from the whatever conference there. You see where I'm getting at? And it's just, whether or not A&M was a physically good win or not, it was a good psychological win for the program. It kind of got kind of got them in a positive attitude. You know what I mean? But just being from the SEC makes it better. It wasn't like we beat Vanderbilt or somebody from the SEC, But it was a good win. It was a big win, considering everybody thought we were going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, oh my gosh, it's only been almost 3.5 hours. That's kind of early for us. But woohoo! It looks like LSU went up by 10 in the fourth quarter, 38-28. Yeah, I tell you now. Just think before one last, and I promise you, we're out of here. Remember, next year we start the season off against Florida
In the swamp.
in the swamp with who knows for quarterback. Oh shit, they did just score. Shoot, I got to get in there and watch this shit. I don't want to have to take my aggravations out on these LSU fans if they let Florida beat their ass, because I'm already one up on LSU fans because Miami only lost by 7 and Florida State beat the fool out their ass. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, just
If only
remember,
LSU had a defense, man. If only
if they had a
defense.
if they had a defense,
They got an offense, but they ain't got no defense.
But remember, guys, Florida State fans are going to talk. They're going to enjoy themselves. Let them have their fun. I congratulate them. They beat us by a punt return and a non-called safety, but they won. Let them enjoy it now because the day of reckoning is at hand. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. But I thank y'all for stopping by. Of course, Bryce, Workforce, Canes today. Phil stopped by. We had some new guests tonight, right of the line. I'm not going to count Ryan Mitchell. He said you down. I ain't got no respect for that. He didn't put an LOL behind it, so I don't respect it. Of course, Canes today come by and said hello. Cuban Kane as always. Roderick Berry, thank you for stopping by. Jose Amador. Where's he at? There he is. Guzman Chris. Where's the other good one? Come on, where he at? The Kylo dude. Yeah, the Kylo Ren. Miami Kane come by and said hello. Irv Gotti, which was apparently a Miami fan, but he seemed pretty cool. Workforce, well, yeah, you're here. I told you that already. And then Junior Perez, another Miami fan, stopped by. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I know I probably shouldn't do it, but I like to tell everybody thank you for stopping by. Since we're still a small fellowship, I can do that. So, for those of you who are new tonight, if you like what you see, you like what you hear, we didn't piss you off too much, be sure to like and subscribe. Stay alert. Stay tuned. I usually, if I don't put it on my YouTube, my Discord channel, I did update the invite link on the Discord. Y'all are welcome to join it. Just remember, no nonsense. Nonsense will not be tolerated. You know. So, yeah, this was fun. This was fun. Again, it sucks to lose to Florida State, but I thought it was I thought it was a good game. I thought the guys did a good job. Emory laid it all out on the line, just like Melvin Bratton did with his knee. But hopefully for the best. We'll I don't know. We'll probably next broadcast. I don't know. It'll be sometime this week. I'm on vacation until next Saturday. So I'm sure we'll get together. We'll probably get together. We might have a Tuesday talk about it. Might have a Thursday throwdown. I don't know. We'll see. Let's just see. I'm just waiting to sit back and see how all this ferments and bastes and boils and broils and see what happens with all this knucklehead nucleus. Because it's going to get crazy. It's going to be crazy. So, as always, peace. Huh?
Let me stop in real quick. Does anybody know where the Florida State game is against Florida? That's in the swamp to close out the year. Circle that one.
You're talking. Wait a minute. You're talking about the Florida State game this year?
That's in the swamp. That's the last game of the year. Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude, but I really don't care where they play because I don't really care who wins or loses. I mean, I just don't care. But I guess that would be funny as hell, wouldn't it? We kind of need Florida to win so Florida State can't claim state championship because next year it'll be an outright state champion.
Yep.
But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, guys, peace, love, and soul. Go Canes. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Stay alert. Stay tuned. We'll do it again soon. Thank y'all. We're going to catch y'all next time. Bye.
Go Canes.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.